are back. The time is now.
NUFC Early Night News with Gary the Geordie Yum Yum and Derek the Mighty Win. Weekdays from 8 p.m. UK, 2 p.m. USA. NUFC Talk.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to NUFC Talk TV. This is the start, if you like, of the 3-hour session that we do now through the midweek. Obviously not including match days. I've got the Mighty Win next to me, and I've got the D-Man. Welcome on board, D. It's nice to see you, my friend. Can you hear me, mate? I can't hear you, D. You're on mute, I think, bud. While he sorts his kit out, I am going to do the housework, as always. Do the housework. So welcome to everybody that's watching across all the platforms. Thanks to everybody that works in the background, do amazing jobs. Don't forget, people out there in viewerland, please hit the like button for us. It's amazing what that does, and it doesn't half help us get to other supporters globally. So again, subscribe, totally free. Smash that bell button for us. You'll get that 30-minute notification when we go live. We're always live. It's never edited. So what you hear is what you get. If you want to help us, you can become a member for a small monthly fee. That will, I can hear you now. And then, obviously, if you want, that'll help us again massively to get more content out to you guys. If you've got a question for either of the panel, then throw a Q in front of that question. Just helps us highlight it, but it's not guaranteed to be mentioned. So if you want to guarantee it, if you think it's important enough, then throw us a Talk TV super chat. Follow the $ and the instructions on there, and that will get that message read out during the show. And anybody that becomes a member, or any of our beautiful members out there that gift their memberships, will be also highlighted and thanked as we go on. Don't forget, there is still opportunity. The doors are still open. If you want to come on board with a prediction league, it's a £5 entry fee. There's still lots of points to go for. None of us seem to be getting, well, some of us, Benjamin, seem to be.
Hi, Ben's doing well. Ben's doing well.
Ben and Levi are flying at the minute. So well done, you guys, over the pond. But obviously, the top 6 get a prize, top 4 get a cash, 5th and 6th get a prize, more of the value to your entry fee. So, D-Man, how you doing, dude? I haven't seen you for a while.
Yeah, I'm all right. Long time no see, but I'm doing good. Well, apart from recent result with Newcastle United,
Yeah,
but
the headache.
Other than that, yeah, all good, man. Been busy, but good. Been good.
Interesting. I must admit, I must say, and give a shout out to Bauke and Tim at lunchtime. Well, this afternoon. The first time Bauke, I think, has been in control. Did a grand job with the Eddie presser. Interesting to hear that there's a bug going through the team, potentially. Do you reckon that was one of the reasons for the drop-off in performance against West Ham?
I'm sorry, Mike. I ain't given no bug the benefit of the doubt for that performance on Sunday.
No.
I don't know. Well, listen.
Our survey said
it's not the main reason, but did it have an effect? I don't know, because remember when we played Brighton and Tonali had that stinker, came out, he was suffering from the bug, and then there has been rumours that obviously the bug's been going around. Trippier's been ill, and a few others. So
Murphy as well, apparently. Yeah. Apparently Murphy's had it. Tonali's had it.
I give Murphy a bit more, I see.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the low light, I suppose, was the result, but the highlight was Murphy's goal. I thought it was a cracking goal, to be fair. It's a shame we just couldn't get grip of the game at all. When you look at the way they performed, their full-backs actually controlling, getting forward. I thought Diouf played really well. Wan-Bissaka played really well. Bit disjointed from our wingers, if I'm honest with you, not tracking their boys when they required. Gave a lot of our midfielders a bit of a run around as well. And that's what made me think with Eddie's words today, with this bug being around, especially like obviously now we've missed Bruno in training. So was Bruno also, on the edge of this bug and didn't feel 100% because, again, performance from the two stars in midfield. Certainly didn't shine. So anyway, let's concentrate on what's coming up. What do you guys?
Does anyone seriously think that a bug was responsible for Sunday's performance?
Not responsible, but it might have had something to do with it. Because let's be honest, as poor as we were, when was the last time that everybody played poor? Like everyone to a man played that badly. I can't really remember. So that could have been a contributing factor. Not the main reason, but it could have been a contributing factor. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, Fulham away last season. That was a bad one.
I would say Brighton this season.
It wasn't a clever performance, if I'm honest. But I think, like I say, you're potentially clutching at straws a little bit.
Absolutely clutching at straws.
When you're, and I don't know whether that was the curveball that was thrown by Eddie, if I'm honest with you, to try and, take a little bit of the pressure off, if I'm honest with you. So, we all know Eddie is fantastic with words.
If there is any pressure on.
Well, like when I say the pressure on, I'm on about, the finger pointing side of things. I don't mean there's any pressure anywhere else, but there's certainly a lot of finger pointing being thrown, and not just at Eddie. It's a collective. For me, I know what people say when you say, if it's the odd player that's having a poor game, then you blame the player. Yeah, if it's the number of players, then it usually goes towards the coaching staff, and that's why I said, are we leaving something in the locker for games like tomorrow night against Bilbao? I don't know. Well, listen. I mean, the build-up has been phenomenal again. I don't know whether you've seen much of this, but I am going to throw a little bit on the screen in a mo when I get the opportunity, because I must admit I was well impressed. It looks like they're going to be missing the star man though. Nico Williams looks like he's out of the side.
Half their team, innit?
They are. Yeah, I mean half of the main team, but I mean we all know what they do and how they work. But for me, it's more the fact that they've had a really poor start to the season. Both home and away in La Liga. I think they're sitting around about 11th at the moment, not really ripping anything up regarding trees. But
sounds familiar.
Well, I was going to say, where have we heard that before? But what I did notice, if I'm honest with you, is I think it's their president that was doing a little bit of a cameo session. So I hope you guys can hear this, because, like I say, I am having so many difficulties with my computer at the minute. So apologies if this doesn't come through to you. I'll try and make sure all my bits and pieces are ticked. Here we go.
Good afternoon, Toon Army. My name is John Uriarte. I am the current president of Athletic Club. Around 30 years ago, our two clubs crossed paths for the first time.
For the city of Bilbao and Athletic Club, that UEFA Cup second leg match back in November 1994 has become the stuff of legends, thanks to the bond created between our fans. Football in the most authentic and genuine way with you is one of the reasons why we choose to continue competing with our philosophy.
Now, with this opportunity to meet again, we wanted to express the pride we feel in the connection between our two fan bases by presenting you with a flag containing the crests of both our clubs together. Up Athletic and Away the Lads.
I love that.
Fantastic.
I absolutely love that. If that is obviously the start, listen, are you tearing up already, lad?
I am.
It's still early yet. Come on. It is. Sorry, I do. I keep looking at my screen and I look washed out. I think I need a new liver.
You look great.
I must admit, when I was looking through some of the archives, if you like, then I saw that up on there. That was their club, official club stuff, to be fair. It literally took my legs away from me, because I just thought, that is fantastic. Now, I know you've got some beautiful stories of your past meeting. Are you in any fit state to talk at this present
We'll
moment
get
in
there.
time?
This was this afternoon.
Can't hear it, buddy. Take the mute off, Win. Still there. So we'll start again with that one. It's not that, buddy. It's just a tick box at the bottom. You've just got to make sure that your sound's on your... You got it?
Get there. Got it, I think.
Okay.
Thank you for following our colleague here. Okay.
Hey there, Mighty Win here.
guys.
And look who I've got with me. I've got Herman and Rafa all the way from sunny Bilbao for tonight, well, for tomorrow night's match.
Thank you for following our colleague here. Nice guy, yeah.
Nice guy,
So,
yeah.
so I'm busy telling them all about the fantastic away day that we had in Bilbao, 2 days in Bilbao. 31 years ago, almost to the day. And Herman was there. Were you actually there, Rafa, that night?
We both.
Yeah.
We both.
Yeah, they were both here. Their English is not very good, but it's a lot better than my Spanish or Basque. Let me tell you that. But so Herman, you've got 1 or 2 worries on the injury front. You were telling me. Who do you think's not going to be playing tomorrow night?
Excuse me.
Who won't be playing
Nico.
because Nico?
Okay.
Nico
is out. Samsate is out. Yuri is out. Let's see if we have
Iñaki's out.
possibilities. Yeah, Iñaki is out too.
So that they are really worried, really worried on the injury front.
But as we say in Bilbao,
Yeah, first enjoy.
Au Patleti!
Our Atleti. Let's enjoy first, and we will see what happens tomorrow. Okay?
Yeah,
Thanks, guys.
And anybody who's watching, if you see a Bilbao supporter, do not let them buy a drink. You buy their drinks. Just like they did 31 years ago when every time we went to try and buy a pint, no, we buy Geordie's drinks.
Fabulous. Absolutely love it. I mean, I must admit, I am in awe of this fan base. I really am. I mean, just going through a little bit of their history. I was absolutely, when you get that really warm feeling for the way a club is run. You know what I mean? And the way they work. And I mean, I love just like, the nicknames, the Lions. Obviously, we know Valverde is the manager. Capacity very similar to St James's with 53,000.
Sold out every week.
Yeah, absolutely. Say virtually sold out every week. And their club motto, Win, do you know it?
I don't.
Con contera y facio no hace falta importación. And that means with youth and
that's
fans.
easy for you to say.
Yeah, I've just had to take a shot just before I come on. With youth and fans, imports aren't needed. That's their motto. Yeah. I mean, it is like, literally everything coming through the academy. D-Man, what I mean, you've just seen, what's happened there. You saw the mighty Win. He always gets teary when a story touches you. And I mean, he's such a lovely lad. It's unreal. But does that make it a little bit more special for you, listening to all that in the background?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like we know it's a very special club, innit? The way they run, the back players and all that, and the affiliation that they have with Newcastle. It's good that they still remember the day 30 odd years ago. When I met Win, he told me the stories. Actually, he told me the stories about it as well. So there is a connection there. So it should be a great atmosphere. They seem to have some, great fans as well. Great travelling. So yeah, it should be a good one, man. Should be a good one. Very.
Yeah. I think there's going to be a lot of atmosphere, I think, tomorrow at St James's Park. They're one of only 3 clubs, again, this is something I didn't realise, to never get relegated from La Liga. Real Madrid and Barcelona. Yeah, they're the only 3 clubs that have never been relegated out of La Liga.
Despite playing only Basques in the team.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I said.
You ain't Basque, you don't play for Bilbao.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
it was John Hall's dream in the 90s. He said his dream was to have 11 Geordies playing for England. Playing for Newcastle, sorry. Well, and England as well, why not?
I was going to say, why not?
His dream was to have 11 Geordies playing for Newcastle.
Players rarely leave there. The big players rarely leave there as well, because I know Williams was linked to Barcelona in the summer, wasn't he? And then he opted to stay. Very rarely do they let go of their stars, and do their stars want to leave. So, yeah, it's obviously a special place.
There was a nice little photo of back in 22. I don't know, was that the last time we met them, in 22?
That was the friendly.
Oh, the friendly. Yeah.
Well, there's Jamie with his McEwen shirt on.
Exactly, but that's what I said.
That was the away strip when we played them in Barcelona, and this was the strip I had on when we went there. And we went on Keith Barrett's Toon Travel chartered flight back in the day, and there wasn't a single person got back on the plane to come back to Newcastle who still had a Newcastle strip on. They finally wore me down at about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I had to swap my original Newcastle top for a red. I am wearing red and white stripes. And back in the day, we thought that the reason Athletic Bilbao wore the red and white stripes was because of the shipyard workers back in the 1910s, 1920s. There was shipyard workers from Sunderland, apparently. I've had this all disproven today, by the way. But what we thought at the time was that the reason they wore red and white was because of Sunderland. Since being completely disproved.
Right.
They used to wear blue and white quarters, the same as Blackburn Rovers. Back in the day, that was when Blackburn Rovers were a mighty team, in the success era they had before Jack Walker. And so their club president came over to the UK to buy some more Blackburn Rovers tops. The place he went to had sold out of Blackburn Rovers because they were popular at the time. And all he really fancied, because the Basque national flag is red and white, was Southampton strips, because that's where he was, on the south coast, when he came over on the ferry from Santander. It was Southampton kits.
Right.
That influenced their colours. Nothing to do with Sunderland. However, as Herman was telling me this afternoon, there were Mackems over there, but they weren't working in the shipyards. They were working they've got tin mines and iron ore mines there. And they were miners. So it was nothing, this nonsense that I'd heard before, which I totally believed, by the way, was that the reason they were red and white was because of Sunderland shipyard workers. It's nonsense. It was actually because they didn't have any blue and white strips, so they were on the south coast and they had Southampton strips, which is why they're wearing the red and white strips.
Oh, that's interesting. Really interesting.
Warren's
has just come in there, yeah. Let's have a look at Wazza's.
We'll be fine against Bilbao.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going to leave it to you. Me and you are fighting the same cause here.
They are very rocky at the minute, and they are. And the reason they're very rocky, again, as was referenced in the little video that I did there with Herman and Rafa was they are riddled with injuries. So that they are not very hopeful at all. So we ain't got no excuses with a little bug going round as far as I'm
No,
concerned.
absolutely. I totally agree with that. Well, this made me smile as well. I don't know whether you can see this. This is, as you can see here, Athletic Club just underlined here, and I've just highlighted it so you guys can see it. But right underneath it, look, after they touchdown, we're getting to the tune. I was like, wow, fantastic.
Well,
absolutely love it.
Going back to that trip, I think anybody, and by the way, we're sitting in the Three Bulls this afternoon. The first thing was I arrived at the Three Bulls to meet me, Derek, good friend of mine, the Mackham, and he wasn't in yet, but there was 2 Bilbao fans there talking to another Geordie. So I just went straight up and said, right, what you drinking? I'm getting your drinks. And they, I said, no, we buy Geordie's drinks, which is all you ever heard in Bilbao, that trip. No, we buy Geordie's drinks, And the reason it happened was because when we got off Keith Barrett's plane, the whole all the passengers were kind of corralled into this waiting room, and the British consulate in Bilbao addressed us all, and he said, listen, the front page of the Bilbao equivalent of the Journal, half of the front page was an open letter from the mayor of Bilbao to the citizens of Bilbao. And it said, and the consulate was translating it all and pointing to the script on the paper. And he said, today we have 2 battles. The first battle is on the pitch, where I have got no doubt that the Roja Blancos will beat the red and whites will beat the black and whites on the pitch. That's not a problem, he said. But he said the second battle, and by the way, I should explain, the consulate also said, because it was a bank holiday when we landed, the Day of the Dead, which is a massive day for those Spaniards. All the day off had been cancelled by the British consulate. Nobody who worked at the British consulate was allowed a day off because they were expecting, this was back in the 90s, they were expecting potential trouble. So when we heard that this is from the mayor of Bilbao, the second battle is on the streets, and we thought, whoa, what the... He says, we citizens of Bilbao have to show the Geordies, and it was Geordies in inverted commas, a better time in Bilbao than they showed us in Newcastle, because it was the return leg. The first leg was in Newcastle. Big capital letters. This will be difficult. And he went on to say how fabulously all of the Basque fans had been treated in Newcastle. Well, if they won the battle on the pitch, they won the battle on the streets 6-0. Unbelievable hospitality. Unbelievable. I'm not telling lies. You could not buy a drink. You couldn't buy a drink.
Yeah.
Oh
Fabulous,
no,
mate.
we buy Johnny drinks, we buy Johnny drinks. So we're sitting in the Three Bulls this afternoon. And this kid comes in up the street, sees the two red and white shirts. Didn't know him from Adam, said to them, "What do you want to drink? What do you want to drink?" Said, no, we need food, we need food. He says, no. He says, it's exact word. No, we buy Johnny's drinks. We buy Basque's drinks. We buy Johnny's drinks. We buy Basque drinks.
Oh, bless you.
Absolutely unbelievable. 31 years later.
It's fantastic, isn't
You
it?
couldn't write the script, man.
I would have loved to have been up there today. I really would. It was one of them moments where you look back fondly about times gone by and just wish things would have been a little bit different. There was no way.
Well, the result could have been different, but apart from that, it unquestionably is the best.
No, I was going to say, yeah, absolutely.
Apart from the result, but just superb, and there's plenty more to come on that visit. By the way, plenty more.
I'm sure. D, obviously he's emotional. I'm just going to give him a couple of minutes just to get himself sorted. If you look at, like I say, the times gone by, I mean, I know you've been a Newcastle fan for some time. Have you got that type of passion and feeling towards Bilbao, the same as they've got towards us? Because they are special fans.
They are special fans. Obviously, I haven't got the same connection that Win has.
Yeah, exactly. I don't expect you to cry, lad.
Yeah, but no, listen, it will be, like I said, I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, I'm not going to be at the game. I went to the Benfica game. I couldn't get tickets for this one. I wish I could, to be fair. I think, like we mentioned before, I think the atmosphere is going to be electric but respectful. You know, there's a mutual respect between both clubs, a mutual adoration. So yeah, it feels a bit different. For some reason, it feels a bit different to the average Champions League tie. I know we've got the history of Barcelona, but that's a bit different. But this seems like a brewing friendship, well, one that's been going on for many years and one that's going to continue. So it's a special one to look forward to.
30 odd years and they've still got that type of attitude. I think that is special, very special.
Chris, like you said, Rob Lee.
Yeah.
Picked.
I mean, that's just something, doesn't it?
The reason for it. That says it all.
What can you say?
What can you say to that? Yeah, I mean,
the only sad thing about that was there wasn't many of them made it over for that one, but apparently there are 3,000 at least.
Yeah, I'm going to say
tomorrow, because Herman and Rafa were saying that they've all had instructions to meet in the big market at 5:30 to do the march up to the stadium and so on and so forth. Yeah, that's going to be a thing to behold.
Let's get our mates Boki into the system.
Oh, Boki, yeah. Boki in the house.
He's gone off again. I don't know what's happened with his screen. We'll get into the what we believe the team will be. Couple of interesting ones to go with in a second. Chris, the American mag, has told Mighty Win to calm down. You're gonna pop an artery, man. So there you go. Thanks for the £2, buddy, or the $2. Here he is. He's back. The man, the myth, the legend, also known as Boki. He's back with us. I'll let you throw that one on there. We've got another one coming in. Wissa, thank you, mate. Love will win. Oh, you took it off. I couldn't see it. Yeah, I can't hear you, mate. You've muted yourself.
See, I think this is Warren's new name.
It is. Wissa. That's easy to remember. Like myself, passionate and daft. Absolutely.
Daft as a brush, kid. Daft as a brush.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being daft as a brush. Boki, how are you, buddy? You all right, mate?
I'm really good. How are you, Gary?
I'm very well. I was just congratulating you, mate, on your afternoon performance, your matinee. You did really well, buddy, with the controls and dealing with the Eddie presser.
That was a nightmare, to be honest. I had a clenching butt the whole time it was on.
Yeah, hey, mate, it's not easy. It's not easy.
Gary, mate, my complete and utter respect goes out to you. It is an absolute nightmare trying to keep the chat going.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to ask, you brought up a really interesting case with Tim at dinner time, and I just wanted to get D-Man's participation on that, because I've heard wins, you've heard mine. I quite like the new format because you get 8 different teams, 7 different teams, isn't it? 8 different teams. And I know Tim and Boki were saying this afternoon, and you've said previously, Bud, that you think it goes a little bit anti-competitive at times, where you're playing lesser teams rather than home and away effect of the 3 other teams within your group of 4. How do you find this new format, D, regarding the Champions League now? Do you think it's taken a little bit of a backseat? Because I've heard and I've read lots of people now actually don't come on board with the Champions League until the last 16.
Well, from a selfish point of view, I like it because I think it's easier to qualify. We all know what happened last
that's
time
exactly what I think.
So I'm not going to complain in that respect. And also, I also like to see that you get bigger games earlier. So, like for instance, you've got PSG Bayern tonight, Liverpool, Real Madrid, and I don't think any of them are taking it lightly. So, because teams want to get the points on the board early so they can start rotating later on. So, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I think it's refreshing. I think it's refreshing. It's good to see the smaller teams as well be a bit more competitive as well. Because you look at Karabag and even Union SG. I think they've got a couple wins behind them as well. So no, I think it's good. I think it's good. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I must admit, like we talk about Athletic Club, and obviously Karabag played them last time, I think it was, and went 1-0 up, and it obviously put a little bit of a kick up the backside to Athletic Club, because obviously they did come out eventual winners 3-1, but as you say, it seems to have evened it out a little bit, where you get the lesser clubs now managing to take points throughout the format, where obviously when it was back in the old original one, it was always the favourites that went through.
You knew he was going to qualify. Exactly. Look at Man City last season. They had to go to the playoffs and they got knocked out. Even PSG, they were on the brink of getting knocked out until the last game, the last game. So they had to win their last game to qualify. So I think it's good. I think it's good. There's no guarantee. You can't guarantee all the big guns are going to go through. You know what I mean? So
no.
it's
somebody's going to lose, haven't they? That's how I look at it. Somebody's got to lose.
As we saw last season with this format, you had like Man City and PSG were at the bottom of the 16 the 24 that qualified. So whereas in the hierarchy's mind, in my opinion, you're automatically assuming that you're going to have PSG playing USG for the sake of argument, and it actually transpired you end up getting PSG playing Man City, because there's teams that are down there that hadn't bothered their asses in the first phase, shall we say.
I like the fact that they've amended the. I think if you top the group, or if you're in the top few positions, then when you play your knockout round, you're at home for the second leg.
For the second leg,
that kind of cost Liverpool a couple of times a bit. Last season, one they ran away with it initially. So I think that's pretty good. I think they've tweaked that. So that's good.
Yeah. Right then. I mean, like I say, I know you've already stated your way of thinking, Andy. But go on, because obviously this evening's audience isn't going to be the same as this afternoon's. So you're not happy with this current format. You feel as though it's taken the competitive edge off it. Go on then, mate. Give us your thoughts.
I don't know what you guys think, but just when we used to have the little league system, you could see what was happening 100%, and you sort of could understand it, and that was the whole Champions League to me. You sort of had brilliant teams in the league with you, and you were above Barcelona, you were above Benfica, sort of thing. But that's gone now. It's sort of just a generic league, and it doesn't have the same feeling to me. You know, sort of. I think we all need to sort of push it as it's the elite league, and we all should be feeling the passion for it. And I don't feel that.
Mm.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah.
well,
It-
I think that's weird because I definitely feel it, and I think that it's fair. That I think it's more or less guaranteeing that the best clubs, regardless if you're stuck in a group of death like we were last time, the cream will go to the top. So you are going to get the best teams in the last 16.
But that's the point. When do you want the best teams in the last 16, or do you want to have a bit of jeopardy in there and a bit of a thought?
No, I want the best teams in the last 16. Last season to me it was ludicrous. Sorry, last time we were in, it was ludicrous that we didn't progress because of the group of death that we were in, and teams that we would have wiped the floor with did get through because they happened to be in a much weaker group.
But would the old style system have picked that up?
How do you mean?
Well, I mean, it's sort of with the system we've got now. Are weaker teams getting through to later rounds rather than the better teams?
Well, no, now the better teams are getting through now. Weaker teams were getting through when we were in the group of death. There was a lot weaker teams than us who made it through because they got second place in the group that they happened to be in because it was an easy group that I would have felt very confident about beating had they been in our group. Was I saying it's a brilliant format, Borky? You need to twist on your 21, ye.
Enthusiasm was in prison, so that's fair enough.
I mean, I do understand.
Too early for that.
I do understand if you were a top club, vying to win the actual Champions League, I would be on Boki's corner because you want to be more or less guaranteed to win your groups. And I think that is, for me, us being in that, what I class now as the middle third, if you like, in the Champions League, where I don't think we'll ever win it at this present moment in time. But I think we can compete, as we saw against Barca. We competed really well in that match. I know we lost 2-1, but out of the 3 goals, I did think that Anthony Gordon's goal was the best of the 3. When you started to play that football on that level, you can see that you can actually beat teams of any competition when you play, and I think that goes without saying. The one thing that I do want to start seeing though, and again, only looking at who Bilbao are missing, and we're going to go through their entire list of players missing. I think we need to start seeing a little bit more from this lad, if I'm honest with you. You can see on here, 6.7 average match rating. From 7 games, no goals, no assists, only 1.39 expected goals, 3 big chances missed, only 2 big chances created, and dribble success 40%. Now, if he's one of our top players, which is what he was brought in for, he seems a long way from the lad that we originally saw 2 seasons ago. What's the reason for that? Do you just think it literally is just confidence?
No, it's not, because if he turned up in the Champions League, he's our top scorer in the Champions League. So it's the inconsistency that it's like, I don't know. I don't think he's ever recovered from that whole Liverpool saga, And I think he's angling for a move. That's why he's trying to turn up on the biggest stages, and he kind of just relaxes in the league, because that stat in the league is absolutely horrific. Absolutely horrific. But I don't think it's a confidence issue, because we've seen what he can do in the European games.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you can't just be
That-
confident in Europe and then all of a sudden it just flounders when it comes to your bread and butter, which you're used to playing in. Like I don't get it.
yeah, but to me, your shop window is every game, isn't it? I mean, there's
Do you
talk.
so just to get this out in the open, you are seriously saying that you think Anthony Gordon is playing to get away?
Yeah, I don't think he wants to stay with us.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, let me just go on that point now, because to me, you're in the shop window surely in every game, and we're coming up to the
Yeah, you
January
should be.
window. You know what I mean? If you're really looking to move, I mean, there's rumours out there now that Botman, because of Liverpool again seeking an interest, won't sign another contract, and he's contemplating his next move apparently. So that's something that I was texted today. I don't know. I haven't seen it anywhere. I'm just saying I got a text.
Yeah, I get
And
the
I
impression
don't
as
know.
well.
You
But
know what
I
I
think there's
mean?
a number of players that are just having a little, wondered, seeing how we're going to go to the end of the season and see where we stand there. And I think they'll make their decision. I think Gordon's one of them, and I think Botman's the other. So
Yeah.
But surely when we stand there, where we stand there will depend on how
on their
the hell they
performances,
are
yeah,
performing.
yeah. But we know how it goes in football. Like they
Well,
will feel that
I mean,
they
there was that massive rumor that we heard, predominantly from Callum, saying that Isaac, at the end of last season, sorry for that swear word, the rat was saying at the end of last season that he downed tools effectively so that we wouldn't make Champions League, which would then give him the perfect excuse to say, look, I'd have been here for life if we could have made Champions League. And we made Champions League despite him, not because of him, because he, without a doubt, he downed tools after the cup final.
But where's any proof of that? In regards to what you're saying, I kind of
I'm just
understand
going
the
from
point
what
that
Callum
I
Wilson
understand.
said.
No, I understand the point that you're making, but no player is going to down tools so we don't make Champions League. Come on, lad. You've got to be serious. And we did make Champions League, and he still left. So what's the excuse there?
he scored the vital
Yeah,
penalty. Yeah, he's
but he left under a completely different, I don't know what the word is.
Cloud?
Well, yeah, he left in a cloud, but he left in a completely different circumstances. He would have been, as being as successful as he was last season, he would have been entitled to say, right, look, I've done my bit, and the club hasn't sort of fulfilled its promises to me that if I go, we're on this project and we're going to get here, there, and everywhere. So, I've given it my best shot. I've had the best season I've ever had. But sorry, I can do better.
Lads were quarter way into the season. Do all not just need to say Isaac gone, whether it was right, wrong, or indifferent. We've got different opinions across the board, but he's gone, and now we'll talk about the players we'll have. Not keep going, arcing back to this guy who he was a brilliant striker forward, brilliant guy. But at this point, do we need to start just saying, forget about him? And at this point, we talk about
I
players.
forgot about him.
We talk about the players we've got in the squad.
I forgot about him months ago, but what you can never forget.
But when you haven't, you're the first one to bring him up tonight.
His antics I wasn't the first one to bring him up. His antics in the summer cost us that window.
No, Eddie cost us that window.
Well,
Eddie and his team cost us that window in the.
Are we going to do this again?
And to be fair, you've set us up for this argument, and Eddie cost us that window, not Isaac.
Eddie had a list of players that he wanted, and one by one they turned us down and went to the clubs they preferred to go to, including Isaac himself, of course. So we'll agree to differ on that one. We're here today to talk about Bilbao and Newcastle United tomorrow night.
Come on, Newcastle, let's win this game.
Exactly.
Indeed,
Let's. I mean, this bug theory that's going around has me kind of worried, but not really. I don't honestly believe it.
Let's hope Burn gets the bug.
Well, I was just going to come to that because I'm sure you guys are going to be over the moon when I put this one on. Dan Burn.
Can I just say?
Yeah, go.
Can just say to Warren, I can't put that one on, unfortunately. but thank you for your super chat.
Yeah, agree with Wilson and Gordon. Yeah, exactly. The rest of it is good. Yeah, we'll just agree with Wilson and Gordon.
Yeah, we'll agree with that.
Obviously, there's a post got out there today talking about Dan Burn, giving his views about the lads coming back. It's good that we've got those two lads, Hall and Livramento, coming back because they're big players for us. I've built up a fair amount of credit with my performances since I've been here, so I'm confident I'll continue to play.
Why not?
He knows he's going nowhere.
But not at left back.
Anyway.
I thought, as soon as I saw that, I thought, I hope Balky's on tonight because I'm sure he's going to be onto that one like a rat up a tree.
He's going nowhere. Let's be honest. He's going to stay in the team. Like, Lewis Hall's going to take a while to get back anyway, to full fitness. So that will be, not the excuse, but that will be the reason why Burn keeps the place at left back. When Hall does become fit enough to play left back, let's see how he shoes him into that defence, Burn into that defence, because he's not dropping him. So he drops one of Botman and Chow, or he goes with a back five. Yeah, because there's no way Dan Burn is getting dropped from that team. Yeah,
no, that's an interesting one.
Guys, you've got to look at the interview Burn did as well. He is.
Got to look at what, sorry?
The interview. Have you seen the interview we did before the game?
No, which game?
This game. I'll send it through.
No, sorry, I haven't.
No, but I'll send it through to you. But Burn is not getting dropped from any position.
No,
he is going to carry on playing. So, me, who's a Burn hater, have to get used to that.
You're not a Burn hater, let's be honest.
No, I'm
not a Burn hater at left back.
To be fair, I'm a Burn hater at left back. Burn at centre back is class.
Hey, did you hear that, everybody? Burn at centre back is class.
He's just not the level of the two that we've got there at the moment.
No, absolutely not. Let's have a quick gander then of where we're going to be and how this is going to all end up then, because like I say, it looks very much. Again, you look at. I have just put, this is like players that I've just thrown on, that I haven't put any thought to it behind this because I had to do it quite quickly this evening. So I've just thrown players on there. So we're going to talk Newcastle in a second. But obviously, we've got to really look at Bilbao. Now, you look at the Athletic Bilbao squad also missing a number of other players. I mean, the three key players I've left on the park there, the Williams brothers. We all know the type of pace and agility that the likes of Nico's got. I like Sunset playing in that 10. I think he's a really good player. And I think, like I say, he would have caused us a lot of trouble. And the type of system that they play is, like I say, is it Inia Williams, the brother, Iniet Williams, something like that.
Yeah.
The other brother to the Williams, Nico.
Naki, yeah.
Iniaki, there's something like that, yeah. He comes inside a lot, and he plays in the inside channels a lot, and that allows Garazabel to actually burn them channels really well, and that's what they do. But what I've noticed over the last couple of games is that they play, when they haven't got the squad available, they've been compact in the middle of the park. So if you look, and I always go with the 18-yard lines, and you draw two parallel lines, both sides of those 18-yard lines. What they have is literally 11 bodies compact in these areas here. So what you've just said there, D-Man, if you play a 3 at the back, say, and you're playing all your best defenders, and I'm going to say that because at the minute we are struggling with fullbacks. Would this be one of those games, knowing full well that a lot of their attacking element, especially on the wing, has gone? Would you try and make it more compact at the back as a back 3, and then go to something like a 3-3-2-1 or something like that?
When you say, it depends who you're going to put there, right? So the 3 centre backs, you're talking about Botman, Shearer, and Byrne, right? Who are you playing on at the wing backs, or who are you playing in front of them?
Well, let's just move these guys across as your
hold
back.
on, your 3 centre backs are going to be Botman, Shearer, and Chow.
Or no, Botman, Byrne, and Chow.
You'd have Botman out on the left?
Yeah.
I didn't think Shea did a lot wrong on.
No, nor me, to be fair.
Yeah, but who are you gonna? Which place is Shea taking?
He's taking Botman's place for me.
Botman's not starting the game.
Correct.
That's insane. That is insane. Crazy.
Here we go. He was atrocious on Sunday.
They all were atrocious on Sunday. What? No. Botman has to say. Botman's one of our best defenders.
Lads, can I just say, this is exactly what I was saying the other night. You look at that left back position with this team.
Yeah.
There's nobody there.
No. That's what I said. I mean, we know Lewis Hall is back on the bench. Will Lewis Hall be risked in this game? Does Eddie Howe look at this game and say, this is the game that I must win to climb this table, to get in that top section of the Champions League? With the amount of injuries that these have got, I think it's time that Dan Burn steps out and Lewis Hall jumps back in. I think the lad's knackered. And that's not me, knocking him or anything else. Like I said, I had to. I mean, when I watched you guys finish the show last night and your discussions, and obviously everybody was just highlighting Dan Burns' lack of ability, out of position. The one thing that I noticed, having to rewatch the game again, I couldn't sleep. My mind was just like all over the place. This lad was absolutely awful. Absolutely awful. If you think that if Dan Burn is the one that's been earmarked Bowen as a man-to-man, wherever Bowen goes, you go. This lad supposed to have been picking up Wan-Bissaka. Now, when Dan Burn was caught up here, and again, I made a comment because when I first saw it, I'm thinking, oh, crikey, yeah, look how far he is up there. Is he thinking he's Malik Chow? You know what I mean? He's trying to anticipate that interception, win the ball back on the halfway line and get a turnover so we can go and press. But then I rewatched it and I watched Anthony Gordon sit on the halfway line and Wan-Bissaka just run round the side of him and into this space for when Botman scored the own goal. And I'm like, wow. If you look back, Burn gets back. Yeah, he gets back.
Pick up on the point that you're making there. I completely agree. Anthony Gordon should have got back a little bit, but how much space is there on that left-hand side that you're talking about?
Yeah,
I know you can't see me,
I totally agree.
I know you can't
The
see
space
my
should
arrow
not have been there.
spinning.
That's the point.
But no,
I totally agree.
can't see my arrow spinning, but you guys spin from the closest player to the ball in that area. You're talking 40 yards.
Yeah, but
it's a massive issue, and we all know what the issue is.
Yeah, let me go back one.
The issue was that Gordon didn't track Wan-Bissaka.
If you look on the other side, if you have a look on the other side, you'd got Somerville, who was Kraft's player, who turned him inside out, and everybody kept on saying, Somerville's not a great winger, but he gave Crafty a really difficult time. He couldn't get out his own half. Then you had their other half, which is Diouf, which was their left back. Again, Murphy had to be on his toes to track back every time Diouf wanted to go and expand. On the left-hand side, unfortunately, I want you to go and have a look at that point again and have a look at Dan Burn look at Anthony Gordon after the own goal. Just have a look at his face when you see that, because I could tell you now, I'm sure there was some words in that dressing room at half time.
There was.
But the only other thing I'm going to say to you is look at the three substitutions at half time. Then we'll tell you who your worst players on the field were. And like I said, it was
Joe Linton stayed on, and he was by far one of the worst players on the field.
Oh, he was awful, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, he should have been dragged a lot earlier. But just in your question about Lewis Hall, didn't Eddie Howe say that if it was up to him, he wouldn't have put Hall in the squad, he wouldn't have rushed him back into the squad at the weekend?
Well, who's it up to then?
What have to say? He doesn't trust his fitness at the moment. He doesn't want to rush him back. So I don't think he starts tomorrow. I don't think he gets it. I don't think he does either. He don't start tomorrow. I don't think I think he starts after the Brentford game.
Yeah, I agree, but it's like for me, and we go back and we keep saying, we talked about Tonali having this knock, and then how many players that have been on the Newcastle bench that have been carrying something but are still on the bench. So if you're on the bench, you're surely fit to play. And if you're not fit to play, and that was my question, with the Asula situation, why can't Asula come on a little bit earlier? And Eddie Howe says we have to manage his time because he's carrying an ankle injury. Well, why the blooming hell is he on the bench? It doesn't make any sense. And it's like, you risk Voltemada. And me and Chris was talking the other show, I can't remember, it was a live watch along. And I said, what if Voltemada now turns over an ankle in the first 5 minutes, right? He's still got to play 85 minutes of the game because he's on the bench. It's your only available source to go into that slot. So for me, if he's carrying a knock and he's not fully fit, I would say go and start the match, because if anything happens to Dan Burn and he's the only player that can come into that position and help us, and he's not 100% fit, and he lasts another 5 minutes, we're going to have a similar scenario to the West Ham game where you're having multiple position changes across the park and you are going to be void of any ideas. And you could see that from all of that panic, because that's all it was from Eddie Howe and the crew. It was pure panic.
It was chaos.
There was no structure to any of those substitutions. The lads on the field of play didn't know where they were playing half the time. It took me and Win, I don't know how long, to try and get a system of play together.
Half time to work it out.
It was phenomenal. So what I'm saying is, if you've got a risk on the bench, you should start the risk. You shouldn't keep the risk on the bench if he's not fit enough. And that is, for me, criminal to even think of a player
Warren's
that's going to
saying
come
if you play Burn as part of a three, what's the problem? Well, if you play Burn as part of a three, the problem is you ain't got a left wing back.
You shouldn't need one.
Gary, I completely agree with you. Everything you're saying there, you are 100% right. Why the hell would you put a player on the bench who is not fit enough to play?
Doesn't make sense, does it?
It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And if you are going to do that, if you are going to put a player on the bench, put a player on the bench who's a youngster and can come on and prove himself a little bit. there's no excuse. I excuse Eddie Howe because we've got players out. I excuse him because of the players, but there's no excuse for doing that. You have to put a youngster on the bench if there's nobody fit, and putting an unfit player on the bench is disgusting.
Yeah, I would have a little bit of a gamble with this one. If I'm honest with you, you look at the middle of the park, and D-man there. You've just said about having somebody who is strong, and you need that. For me, you need that rigidity in front of if you were going with a three. Now, you're quite right. I mean, Kieran Trippier is just coming back from his illness, so how fit is he? Shaw hasn't put a foot wrong, but playing your three centre backs, you've got to have some cover on the bench. So I would bench Shaw because you know what you're going to get from Shaw if you need him. And then again, you could play Trippier out here on the right hand side with Bruno. I think they work quite nicely.
Do we actually know that though? Can we play Trippier?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know, but I mean, by all accounts, he is over his illness. And according to form, again, you listen to the rumours, Bruno was kept away from the training today because he doesn't want anybody else picking this illness up. But it looks like the players that are starting to, whatever it is, food poisoning or whatever, it's obviously going through the club. I wouldn't say like wildfire, but it's obviously, collapsed a few. Now, is Bruno going to be fit? Trips was full training today. I've just had the reports. Thanks, Connor. So Trips is doing his full training, first day training back today. So again, is that enough to be, called up to the team? I think because of the way Crafty performed the weekend, I think Trips walked straight back into the team. But where do you play them? That's what I said. For me, do you gamble? Because I think Bilbao will come and just low block. I don't think with the amount of players that they've got missing. Let's just go through the players that they've got missing. And it's an incredible list. Berchechi, Sunset, Eglus, Prados, Alvarez, Senardi, Lecu. Then obviously you've got Inaki Williams and you've got he's not travelling. So on the list that I have here, there is no mention of Nico Williams, but he's
definitely out there. Both Herman and Rafa were saying this afternoon.
Yeah, that's what I said. If you look at others in this list that I've got, these are the lads that haven't travelled to Tyneside. So it looks like he has obviously been involved in a travel of some description.
I think a great thing will be to hear from D-Man what he thinks the team might be tomorrow night for the opposition. Or Wednesday night, sorry.
I heard that Nico Williams isn't. He's not part of the squad. So I think
that's what I said. In that list that I've just read out, there was a list that was broadcast yesterday. So I was looking at it, thinking, well, there's a lot of players missing there. But then Connor, bless him, sent me a list saying that Nico Williams, as well as his brother, isn't. Isn't available.
We've got what I was saying. Sorry, but Shea is our best continental player, and Edward. I've never seen you before, Edward. Thanks for the $5. Is saying how might be better off playing Fabian Shea on the left side, left back. In my opinion, he's effectively saying Shea at left back cannot do a worse job than Byrne, which I take umbrance at.
I completely agree, mate. Well, go ahead.
I think Eddie goes with the back four, man. I think he still goes with the back four.
So you think Dan Byrne left?
I think he's got to.
Yeah, but what the problem is, and I totally understand what Bauke was saying about Dan Byrne. What you don't get, and that's with Crafty, and again, you can't. I'm not just going to highlight Dan Byrne on this because Crafty was exactly the same. What you don't get is any forward motion. Yeah, Dan Byrne goes down there because that's the structure that Eddie Howe sets up. Yeah, that's what I said. Dan Byrne goes down there because he goes with a formation, doesn't he? He goes with the system of play. That doesn't mean that he's suitable for that role. And I think, sometimes a player has to speak to the gaffer and say, why don't we concentrate a little bit down the right-hand side and just let me do a mirror version of what the right-hand side usually does, and that step across when we attack down the left-hand side? Why can't we, with the players that we've bought into this side, spin it round on the axis and go down the right side now?
Lads, can we hear what D-Man's got to say about it? Because I really, really want to hear what he wants to say about this team.
Well, to be honest, with the injuries that Athletic got, like Gary said, they're going to come with this low block, right? But I'm more interested in how we're going to approach the game, and I think that obviously we know the limitation that we're going to have on the left hand side with Dan Burn, right? So maybe focus more on the right with Murphy's delivery, or well, probably Murphy rather than Elanga, but we don't know. He likes to chop and change, but I want to see Ramsey start instead of Joe Linton because I think Ramsey will be the key, one of the key players to breaking down this low block because he likes to play between the lines. Yeah, and he's a bit more. He's a lot more attacking than Joe Linton, a lot more technical ability to Joe Linton. We don't need Joe Linton. I don't think Bilbao will bring that enough physicality in that midfield for the need for Joe Linton to start the game. Yeah, we need to be on the front foot. We need to attack them and find ways to unlock this low block. And I don't think Joe Linton offers anything to assist in that. So I want to see Ramsey there. Like I said, I think Eddie Howe's going to go with the back four due to the players that he's got available. But like I said, focus on the right hand side. Like when Dan Burn played the left back a few years ago, he was more of a left-sided centre back. He used to drop into a back three more often than not and focus on.
They used to spin across, didn't they? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so maybe we're right back to that. But yeah, with the injuries that they've got, I can't see them coming to attack us, or even they're going to try counter, but it's more about the low block. They're going to try frustrate us. They're going to try frustrate us, and we're going to find ways
that's
to
what
be
we're
patient.
doing. I wholeheartedly agree with this. Is not a game where we need to have a destroyer in midfield. We want creativity in midfield, and Warren's saying I'd be tempted to play Miley, Ramsey, and Willock. That was the only question is who are you dropping there? Are you dropping a winger? Or are you saying play three at the back with five in midfield?
Well, I think he's thinking about dropping Toon Army and Bruno, isn't he?
Well, Bruno don't make it because Bruno's obviously got this bug and he hasn't trained, so maybe he's not going to start. So.
I wouldn't be averse to playing three at the back, those five across the middle. You know, those three. We just put it back up. Those three, mainly Ramsey, Willock in the middle with Bruno and Tonali, and then you're dropping a winger, and that on form
Gordon
would have to be Gordon.
No, but the thing is, like I said, Gordon is one of our better players in the Champions League. So he'll probably score a brace tomorrow. You know what I mean?
By the way, I'm not saying that I would drop Gordon because I wouldn't drop Gordon. But
would you have this fluid 4-4-2 that we saw with Willock and Voltemada though? Because if you notice the game where Willock played, and he played half decent, to be fair, he played alongside Voltemada quite a bit down that left hand side, and. The reasons, I mean, I've just put it on the screen here, and like I say, don't. This is just a bit of a mock-up, right? So this is how I look. Like you just said, you know, if Bruno isn't fit and he doesn't, I'd be looking at a little bit of creativity in the midfield. I'd go with pace out on the wings, and I'd give both of them a bit of a shout to try and get in the back of them, and I'd have Willock playing as this little bit of a once if Voltemada drops in. Get somebody else moving into the high notes. It's very similar to how Willock played. Was it in midweek where it's gone out of my head? Tottenham. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it went out of my head there. Spurs. And we played a very similar, this fluid 4-4-2, where Willock would drop down into the midfield when we needed to. He'd step up when we needed to. Didn't defend much because that wasn't this task on the day. And that really upset Tottenham. That one little change from Eddie Howe going back to a 4-4-2 really unbalanced Tottenham because they didn't know whether to bring a man from midfield back or go man-to-man at the back with a two. And especially having that bit of pace on the wing. Now, you know, I know Eddie doesn't always go with Gordon and I'll put Wissa on there. Sorry, it should be Ilanga. I wish Wissa was back. Put Ilanga on instead. I mean, would you go Harvey Barnes for somebody who is a little bit more of that striker, somebody who can strike a ball? You know, go with. I mean, Ilanga didn't have a bad game against Tottenham, so maybe you really push that side a little bit more. Try and get a relationship going between the right back and Ilanga. Again, we've got to see something from these wingers, haven't we?
What Warren's saying, forget the wingers, I'd go with 3-5-2, please. If they've got any wingers. Which,
yeah, that's what I said. Would you just go three at the back and 5 through midfield?
Injured, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah. But like I say, you know, is Eddie Howe a gambler? You know, I think sometimes if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, at the minute, when you say it ain't broke, something's got to change.
It's more like the formation that he played against Tottenham, which worked. I think he there's a chance he could go that again. Slightly different personnel because I don't think Shea plays tomorrow. But the Willett thing that you mentioned, or Harvey Barnes, I think that could be used to support Voldemada. I think that'll be quite
him coming in a bit more.
Yeah.
Playing him inside. Yeah, because like I say, I have a feeling that these guys are going to. I think there'll be 5 at the back, and I think it's trying to think of the lad's name now for who's back in the side. Vivian. I think Vivian will come into the side. He'll play at the back, and they'll play with wing backs, and they'll try and keep it really tight. Like I say, the last game that I saw them play, and I think that was is it Leverkusen when they got Dortmund, where they got literally took off the park. Again, if you draw the parallel lines, you look at the passing lanes. There were literally 10 bodies in between those two lines, so they tried to nullify centrally what Dortmund was coming with. And I think that is literally how they'll set up against Newcastle. They know it's going to be a cauldron. The atmosphere is going to be rife. And I think, again, you know, you look at what coaches do these days, they try and quieten the crowd after about 15, 20 minutes when nothing's getting in behind. Have we got enough quality in the side to shoot from 25 yards? Do a Paqueta. We've been screaming out for it.
That is the key again, and we're talking about it all season. Well, I've talked about it all season now. Not enough shots from the edge of the box.
Guys, can I be a little bit controversial here?
Yeah. Why not?
That's a good setup as a defensive unit. Really good. You push Dan Burn forward to the position he was in the other night on the edge of the 18-yard box.
This one?
Yeah. a little bit more cross. No. You're quite correct, Gary. Put him there, but a little bit more cross towards the two central midfielders.
What here?
Further. That's a nightmare scenario because we've got exactly the fault that we had against West Ham. This left back position, and the opposition coaches are picking up on this. That's the big point.
Right, I'm just looking at Valverde's discussion here because, like I say, with when he was in his presser, Valverde said Newcastle are a great side and have 3 more points in the Champions League than us. It's an opportunity for us. We won't stay back and defend. We have the liberty to play our own game. We will be free. Famous last words.
They're coming for a draw. Of
course they are,
mate. To win that game.
they won't even consider, winning the game if they don't have to. You know what I mean? The only time they will come away from that back line, I believe, is if we go in front. And I think that is where you've got to start seeing, you know, have we got enough firepower in this side? From what I've seen so far, I would have to say no. We need something different. You know, it's all right. You know, Votamada's working absolutely miracles at the minute with the service and everything else that he's getting. His flick-ons, he's laying players in and around goal. He's a danger. But we can't just keep relying on this lad because there's going to come a time where it dries up a little bit. There's got to be other players around him.
But we scored. Is it what 8 goals so far in the Champions League? And
Yeah.
Gordon scored. Gordon, Barnes, Tamada. So
Yeah.
2 penalties, by the way.
2 penalties.
Yeah. But I think we've got enough firepower, especially in the Champions League at home. I think we've got enough firepower to score at least 2 tomorrow. Like goals are starting to come not just from Volkmar in all competitions as well. If you look at it, Murphy's coming with a couple as well. So I think we'll be all right. I don't think that tomorrow is not. I don't think tomorrow will be a major issue in scoring goals. That's what I think.
Lads,
go on, mate.
You look at that setup there. You're a Steve Bruce team. Where's Steve Bruce saying the issues on that team?
Eh?
It's the left-hand side win. You play one ball down that left-hand side, and we are knackered.
Well, that's assuming that they've got a player to run onto it who isn't being tracked the way he should be tracked.
But no, you just look at that team. You play a good player down that left-hand side. Who's knackered win?
If you're talking about Dan Burn having to...
No, I'm not slagging off Dan Burn here. I'm simply calling out the left-hand side of that defence.
He's
it's like a broken record, Pokemon. Dan Burn's job, if he's playing left back, left wing back.
But that's not that. It's not a Dan Burn job. It's what's the issue on that? If you look at that team now, that's set up on that pitch, what's the issue?
Well, because you've got Dan Burn on the halfway line right now, without there being any connection with where the state of play is, where's the ball, where's everybody else? Of course, it looks lopsided. But if we happen to have, let's hope for me, Ramsey going up the left wing with Gordon there as well. And let's say, for example, Ramsey comes inside, Gordon goes up the left wing, comes against his defender, and Dan Burn goes up past him to overlap. I don't see a problem with it because we are attacking in that situation.
But what's the problem with that team as a defensive unit to win?
I don't think there's anything that matter with that team as a defensive unit.
Nothing at all. So you don't
unless you're saying that Botman can't cover on the left.
I listen to you. I listen to you 100%. You don't say that defensive unit is a problem as a left-hand unit is defending.
No,
that's a big problem we've got.
Well, if you're saying that Botman can't, as left centre back, if you're saying Botman can't cover some of that ground, and then if that's the area they're attacking, that Chiao can't go across and cover Botman's place, and Trippier can't go across and cover Chiao's place, which is what we've done right through all of our through all our successful period when we've been high pressing all the time. Up both sides, what's happened is whichever fullback has gone forward, the back three simply moves across to cover for the fullback. If it's Trippier that's going up, Dan Burn used to move across to the centre, Botman across to the right, and Shea across the right back position.
But when that's three positions out of position again.
And not out of position, man.
But that's exactly what you've said. You've just said they cover across for the left back.
Yeah, depending upon the circumstances at the time.
But no, you're saying there's no change, but there's three position change for the left back.
What is difficult about three players moving to the right to cover the left back position? or
Which is what
3
they always
players moving to the right to cover the right back position when Triers had
Absolutely nothing. That's what naturally happens with a team.
exactly.
But
I think the problem we had was
in this team, it's happening too much. They're all moving across to cover for Dan Burn.
But they cover for Luis Orlantino, Boki. That's what I said. That's the natural way the system plays. If you look at if I move Dan Burn up to the halfway line, what you usually get is what they call the 18-yard cover. So everybody steps across 5 yards and they usually find a line. And these are the 3 with Trippier's in the side. And I think the problem we've seen, and again, if you look at Tottenham game, if you think of the players Tottenham had on the field midweek, was a lot stronger than West Ham's team. So why did we have no issues against Tottenham in midweek playing the same players, and yet we had awful issues against West Ham the weekend? And a lot of it is if you put a player like Crafty in the right back position who doesn't track in, what you end up doing. And if you have a look again, you look at Botman, when that ball gets played down to Wan-Bissaka, Botman is central. Him and Chow are very much literally holding hands. They are very close because, again, you've got a player who's just not playing the system. And if everybody moves across 5 yards, you should have natural cover across all the ground. And again, it's so easy.
Simple.
Well, it's so easy when you've got that unit together, but you lose 2 players like we did when Trippier going, and all of a sudden, as you saw, the unity goes out the window.
Gary, just a quick point on that. Who's in charge of making sure them players do that exactly? That's it.
The captain on the day.
No. Who is it on the sidelines? Who's in charge?
Oh, Eddie Howe
doing that job.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from, but the trouble is, right? Eddie
Don't say where I'm coming from.
I have to.
You said the other night, answer the question. Who is in charge of making sure them players are doing that exact same job?
I'm going to talk to you, right? It's dead simple. This is dead simple fact. How many days training do the lads have between each game?
But Gary, again,
no.
You called me out the other night, and I answered.
Yeah. I've just said to you,
who is in charge of making sure them players do that job?
Eddie Howe has coached these players in a
100%.
Tactical situation. Well, hold on, but like I said, how many games or how many training sessions have these boys had together between games? And at the 11th hour, one of your main players seems to come out of that jigsaw puzzle. All of a sudden, you're trying to miss the corner and you can't see it anywhere. So you're asking a player that has been out of the system, not involved in many games. He's had one good game for Newcastle this year to come in and play as if, like Malik Chow did, that when he went over to Botman's position, he just stepped in there, looked like he'd played there all his life. Some players struggle to do that, Boki, and it doesn't matter how many times you've coached it on a training game. What you need then is leaders on the park.
Gary,
and that's why you lose it.
You're picking me up.
You're blaming Eddie Howe.
Let me get this point across. Gary, you're picking me up on who is the person in regards to the discussions of who needs to be in charge. And you said to me, Borky, you can't. Who's picking the team? And you are 100% right. Who's picking that team?
Well, Eddie Howe, but what I'm saying is, you pull one player right out of that side. Eddie Howe would have had that team down on paper Thursday, Friday, because he knows the team that he's going to be playing. He's not going to risk playing the lads that played Wednesday. He'll have literally jiggled the books and said, that is my team solid for the weekend. Then all of a sudden, Saturday, Kieran Trippier phones the gaffer up and says, Gaffer, I ain't feeling well, mate. So all of a sudden then, the 11th hour, you're having to jiggle everything that you've built up for the last 2 or 3 weeks. So your 3 fullbacks have gone out your team. So you're playing a stand-in. That is, unfortunately, Kraft, who, again, has never let us down, just didn't have the best game in the world. He gives you no outlet. You know, he wasn't involved. He was more worried
It's probably
about
the
them.
poorest Crofts played, to be fair, because he's never let us down, as you say, never let us down.
No, but I just think it was. That's what I'm saying. I can't understand how you get your 11 players so poorly, and it can only be the manager, the coach in the dressing room trying to jiggle things around. If this happens, you do this. If this happens, you do that. And I think it just caused confusion. I really do think it caused confusion.
For the millionth time, I blame Eddie for Sunday.
Yeah. You can't blame you can't just keep putting the finger on one person, because you saw the panic afterwards. It just seemed as though it was going round in circles.
But Eddie is that bad that was his 4th anniversary. And in those 4 years, he's played 1 game short of 4 full seasons. Played 151 out of 152 games now. And that's where Newcastle are in the last 151 games played in the Premier League. We are 4th. So Pep is better than him. Bear in mind that Slot has only played, last season and this season out of those. So that's basically Klopp's team at Liverpool. And above him also is Arteta, who spent £1 billion from a starting base of FA Cup winners and Champions League qualifiers, where Eddie started from relegation fodder.
Yeah. He won. Arteta won the FA Cup, and he got them back into the Champions League.
Well, he won the FA Cup.
They were 8th before that, so he got them to the Champions League. So let's give him a bit more credit than that. Come on, man.
Exactly. No, but I'm saying where he came from.
Where he come from?
And that was Emery's team that he won the cup with.
Yeah, but they weren't Champions League team. They weren't a Champions League team.
Can't believe this, man. This notion that Arne's what's his name? Slot has no credit for winning the Premier League. That was all. What's his name? Team, and he left his power for another season.
Look what Slot's done. He's had all the money to spend.
They're beating Real Madrid tonight.
But you can't take away the Premier League. The Premier League that he won. But anyways,
absolutely not.
But he
did it with Klopp's team, and look what he's done with his own team.
Well, what is he doing? He hasn't finished yet. Don't see this. Long way to go.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy, man. It's crazy, this lad. But anyways, a late night show, isn't it? It is. There you go, man. I appreciate everybody tuning in and watching. Cheers, Gary. Thank you very much for that. What's your match prediction?
I've put it in, man. I've put it in. It's in the chat. It's in the prediction league. For me, I think I'll put 3-0. I'm going with it. 3-0. We're going for it. I can feel it in me water.
Right on.
I'll see a doctor about that, I'm sure.
5-1. 5-1. The backlash starts here.
D-Man, your prediction?
3-1. Comfortable 3-1.
Hey, everybody's saying 3 goals. Boca, your prediction?
4-0 in Newcastle.
That's the happy clap. That's the happy clap in Boca there. Listen, late night show starts now, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go.
Set up for maximum confrontation and super opinionated debates. The NUFC Late Night Show with Chris the American Man, Derek the Mighty One, Andrew Boki, and the rest of the panel. Monday through Thursday from 9:30 p.m. UK and UFC Talk Radio, the voice of the Toon Army.
Well,
all right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. The voice of the Toon Army. DX is in the building. Mighty Win is in the building as well. We're all over the place, man. I got it, Win. Stop pressing buttons, man, because you're the one throwing me up here. Anyway, there we go. We are here in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Late night show, 9:30 in the UK, 9:32 to be exact. We play Bilbao tomorrow. We got Jamie Win and DX in the house. How's it going, lads?
Good.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that I missed Mighty Win crying over Bilbao. He was crying, man, because we playing Bilbao and they bought us a pint. They bought him a pint, so all of a sudden, yeah.
They bought me multiple pints.
And so
Multiple pints.
and that means we cry
And
over
not
it.
just me, another 2,000 at the time.
And that means we cry over 30 years later. So yeah, that's fine. Ni
Yeah,
bother,
yeah.
man. Ni bother.
It's
So
something
we
you'll never understand. It's called heritage and
heritage. I know a
goodness
Newcastle.
and
I know a Newcastle fan is not talking to me about heritage. Come on, man.
They knocked us out of the
over
UEFA
it.
Cup, didn't they, Bilbao?
Yeah.
Three, on away goals. Is that right?
Anyway,
yeah, well, that was it. The only bad thing about that trip was that we lost
3-0
on
up.
away goals. Back in the day, that's when they counted.
That's right.
yeah. We're
Yeah,
gonna
not
play
a
the
big
tomorrow,
anymore,
though.
is it?
Very, very important match tomorrow, ladies and gents. We got some news to talk to you about, of course. A few things that the lads already talked about. Well, only win really, so we can go over them again. But yeah, so we play Bilbao tomorrow. What is the expectations for tomorrow? A lot of the lads on the early night show were talking about 3-0, 4-0. I mean that's pretty optimistic for a team that played like we did against West Ham. But we might turn up for Bilbao though. It's kind of
the
our season.
backlash.
It's kind of in our season, isn't it?
I think we'll
Yeah.
win 3-1. 3-1. I've got a feeling.
Comfortable.
We should win.
Oh, he's worried about. He says Bogey's had a cardigan arrest.
Well,
Cardiac arrest. Cardigan arrest.
well, the thing
Leave
is,
Bogey alone, man.
I
Go
do
on.
think that the weird thing is the Champions League games are easier at the moment than the Premier League games. I just think the home matches in particular seem to have fallen a bit better, and we've got Brentford away, which I think I've got a funny feeling we're going to beat Bilbao 3-1 or 2-0, 3-0, something like that, and then we'll go to Brentford and get absolutely battered about 3-1, and everyone will be panicking. So I just got a funny feeling that the league campaign could be a bit of a painful one at the moment, and the Champions League campaign could be the saving grace. Maybe in the League Cup as well. The cups could be the saving grace, let's say, of a difficult start.
I mean, the saving grace isn't what saving grace, because getting to the semifinals, I'm not going to celebrate that. Win is going to throw a parade, of course, but I'm not going to saving grace isn't what.
DX and Jamie are in the building.
Yeah,
Both
we know
of
that.
you guys, question I asked last night, would you take FA Cup win and 10th place?
Yeah.
I would actually, yeah, because we haven't won the FA Cup for 70 years, so I'd probably.
That's what it's about.
And I was shut down in flames for saying I would take the football to me is about winning stuff.
Yeah, we got to win.
But I don't know who shot you down yesterday, by the way, because I think
You
most
did.
No, I didn't. I said I'd take that. What are you talking about? You must be having the Bilbao fans must have been buying you too many pints today. You ain't got a clue what I said yesterday.
Can we roll a tape on that one,
the Bilbao fans in the Three Bulls today never bought a pint themselves.
There you go.
That wasn't just me. That was everybody.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. But no, of course I would take an FA Cup and finish.
Would you take
10th.
the League Cup? The League Cup in 10th place.
Yeah,
I probably would still, because it's you know, you're trying to build trophies, but
Yeah.
you know, I mean, just thinking about the 10th place, I mean, you know, I wouldn't be jumping on one leg, and I tell you that. I mean, I would celebrate the cup, of course,
Yeah.
but I think we got bigger fish to fry as Newcastle United fans now. The proper fans now, you know, the old school fans, they just celebrate whatever, you know.
Chris, I've got a question for you based on what you said there about the semi-finals. If it's coming into the last day of the season, and you had a choice next season between semi-finals of the Champions League or winning the Europa League, would you rather go into the Europa League and win it than do quite well in the Champions League?
Of course, I'd rather win anything than just, because nobody remembers who finished semifinals. You know,
correct.
But that's the funny thing, isn't it? If we were in the Europa League or the conference, we'd have a good chance of winning them, I think. But we're not going to win the Champions League.
I think I would go as farther. If you end up in one of those competitions as a top English side, you should expect to win it. You should go in and nothing less than winning it will do.
There should only be an English team that stops you winning it.
Yeah,
because
pretty
all of the foreign opposition is in the Champions League. That's where they're.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, you say
their
that, but
eggs are in.
yeah, you
And-
say that, but for example, Sevilla is one of the most the Europa, and you don't give them credit, but Sevilla, obviously, for a reason, they've won the Europa League most times than anybody else.
But
There's
that
a
was
reason.
prior to the old format, to the format change. What used to happen with the Europa League is you'd fight through all this group stage, and then it's something like 6 teams dropped out the Champions League. The winner would always come. The winner would always come from that group of teams that dropped out of the Champions League, and that was what Seville did. They'd qualify for the Champions League. I think they'd aim for 3rd place in the Champions League group, and then they'd nail it in the Europa.
Well, I mean,
maybe for us, that's the best outcome. If we can get into one of those competitions this season and keep winning things.
The format argument, we'll have to see. I mean, we don't know. We don't know.
By the way, you heard it here first, and this is where the American Mag is going to laugh his socks off.
It wouldn't be the first time.
I do not put it past Newcastle winning the Champions League.
Oh, come on.
There you go.
I think that's a bit of a push, my friend.
But you're talking about the American Mag's gonna laugh at you. That's the laser.
I'm not sure about that one. I mean,
I'm telling you, if we can, we are still look. I'm looking at the.
You're just a happy clever man.
I'm looking at the table now, and we could still well be in the top 8.
So we can be Real Madrid.
God, Spurs are falling.
In a one-off game, absolutely.
But I think the thing is, you've got to get when you get to that last 16.
Got to get. I think we've got a chance of beating anybody in the final. You've got to get to the final.
That's kind of jumping ahead, if you don't mind me saying so.
Well, yeah, exactly. But Jimmy, he doesn't get this guy that it's not necessary to do all that. You know what I mean? People don't take us serious, man. We can't go anywhere with this guy talking like that. You know what I mean? Newcastle can win the Champions League. And
if we can win 2 out of our 4 games and get a draw against either Leverkusen or Marseille, we are going to be in the top 8. So
if you get in the top 8,
you're automatically through the last 16.
Yeah, so you might get a bit of a sort of Benfica level team in that last 16, and you might think we could beat them. But then you're going to get in the quarterfinals with 7 massive teams, and you've not got to just beat them. You've got to do them over 2 legs. Correct. So that's tricky. And let's just say you do that to Bayern Munich. You get the semi-final, then you've got to do that to like Real Madrid or Man City, and then you've got the final. And I don't think Lightning could strike that many times. I think quarterfinals tops for Newcastle this year.
I think by then we will have completely integrated Voldemort into the squad. Hopefully we'll have Wissa back and firing. We'll have another striker available after the January window. I don't think there's any. I'm not saying it's going to happen. Of course I'm not.
You just did.
What I'm saying is, if we can, in this current, in the group stage, or the early league stage, if we can actually make the top 8 so that we don't have those extra 2 games in, once we get the top 8, which will be after January window, anything could happen. People didn't give us a prayer of winning the Fairs Cup in '69.
Music's that Titanic.
I'm just saying, you heard it here first.
There weren't billion-pound teams in the Fairs Cup, though, was it?
Yeah, man. And in the Fairs Cup, we were the best team in the world.
Jamie, that was the equivalent.
Dude, Newcastle United.
We pressed Doza, and there's the case in point. We pressed Doza, who were not £1 million team by any stretch of my. They beat Leeds United, who were at the time.
Okay,
in the semi-finals. We beat
Okay, hold
Rangers at the time in the semi-finals.
Relax a bit. Relax a bit. You relax. You had too many pints, man. Are we, James Cuffs? Are we actually talking about if we can win the Champions League after getting stuffed by the worst team in the Premier League? Only Newcastle fans. Exactly. Well, I agree with that, man. I just can't believe it, man. I cannot believe it. I don't even know how we're going to form tomorrow. Bruno Guimaraes might not play tomorrow, and we're talking about winning the Champions League, man. And this is, by the way, a bad Athletic Bilbao team right now. A bad one.
Correct.
And on top of that, they don't have their best players.
But are we a bad Newcastle team?
But there's 3 points.
Well,
Three
we are
against
very,
PSV,
we
one
are
against-
we are very inconsistent Newcastle team that don't know what team is going to turn up.
Not at
tomorrow.
home, one.
At home, we've been quite good, but
No, we haven't.
No, we
haven't been playing good at home, man.
In general, in all competitions, we've done okay at home. It's been the away form that's been the real.
Man, we just played Fulham at home, man, and we were. I mean, we were playing
in patches, but not brilliant. But it wasn't, we got the result. And I think in Europe, we've had Barcelona. We didn't play too badly, I thought, at home.
No, we would have played with a striker.
Benfica, okay, actually, Benfica started the game well, but we second half played some really good football. So, and Athletic Bilbao are terrible away from home, aren't they? So I think we've got to be favourites. I mean, if we don't win that, I'd be very disappointed. This is a game we should win, really, to be honest, even without Bruno.
Well, I agree.
Nail posing. Let's all mourn wins delusion.
There is no need to mourn wins delusion because that delusion is alive and kicking, man.
Absolutely.
That's the break and locked up in
kicking.
jail, man. Because you are for real. I just can't believe what you said, man. We're supposed to now. Let's go on. Well, talk a little bit about the game, I guess, before we go on to the article by Craig Hope, seeing that the new CEO has been taking care of business already. If that's the case, some say that Silverstone has taken a better job. But Bruno not playing tomorrow. Well, I mean, it's a possibility he's not playing tomorrow. I guess there's a bug going around. It seems like from the press conference, Byrne will continue to play at left back, regardless of anything. I mean, that's going to happen.
Yeah, Lewis isn't fit though, is he? I guess
Lewis is training. Livermento's training back in training. So today as well. I mean, I don't think he's going to play.
They're not quite
a long way off.
So
needs that, unfortunately.
No, not at all. But I mean, it makes me question a manager that tried 4 different options, really 4 or 5 on right back, and then doesn't do the same on left back.
Couldn't we try wing backs and play 3 centre halves if we're desperate?
I think that would be great to see. But
so who would you play left wing back?
Probably try Gordon there or something. Just because
Tripper's going to play. Tripper's going to play. He's back.
Well, there you go.
You could put him on the left. He could be left back. He's played left back before.
Well, okay, but I'm not. Hang on, I'm not absolutely against that. Trips left wing back, and say Murphy right wing back. He's done that before.
Or just Kraft there.
Maybe for the Brentford game more than this one. Actually,
Kraft.
Yeah. I think this Bilbao team are beatable with the sort of team that we've had out the last few weeks, because if you think we've beaten worse teams, not always convincingly, but we beat Spurs, we beat Nottingham Forest, we beat Fulham. I know these weren't convincing. It was quite convincing against Benfica, and I think we can do the same with this team. What you're talking about there is we want maybe to think about doing something different at Brentford, because that's the tougher game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which sounds crazy. A Spanish team in the Champions League should be easy, and Brentford is a tough game. Try telling that to someone 15, 20 years ago.
Exactly. Jordy Dan, thank you, Jordy. Let win out.
They've got a lot of injuries, haven't they?
Warren, first of all, Warren, nothing compares to Champions League. Couple ads. Says Warren, thank you very much for the super chat. And Jordy Dan letting win out. Thank you very much.
I just need to pull Jordy Dan up. I need to pull you both up on something there. If anyone's in town tomorrow and they meet any Bilbao fans, don't call them Spanish. They don't.
Oh, right. Dead right. Basque.
Well, Basque.
They're Spanish. So
from Spain, but...
well, here's the thing then. You're saying that's Spanish.
They are.
So, but right,
Like Liverpool.
so,
It's like Liverpool fans saying they're not English. They're English,
hang on,
whether
hang
they
on.
like it or not.
So let's go back to 31 years ago.
Oh, please don't do the
So
same thing.
we left the city centre when everything had shut.
Don't start crying again, please.
Half a dozen of us went back. We just followed you come with us. So we followed them back into what was effectively, I don't know if you have community huts in America, but this was a community hut, just a big wooden shed in the middle of a field with football pitches in the middle of a housing estate. And we goes into this place with them.
Does this end with you getting a drink that makes you pass out? Waking up in the morning.
Inside, flags drawn, pinned all over the wall, all over the wooden walls, and a bar in the corner, which they'd opened, and everybody's in there drinking at this bar in the corner. About 40 or 50 people in, including half a dozen Geordies. So we continued drinking there till we absolutely had enough. All around the outside of the hut, there's like benches.
Man, give us the cliff notes, man. Get to it, man.
Yeah.
The benches all around the thing. What we didn't know was all the flags on the wall. Loads of athletic flags. Loads of Basque flags.
Fucking hell, man. This is...
And some of the flags were ETA. Now, ETA is the Basque, back then was the Basque equivalent of the IRA.
Time of arrival.
The IRA. So, unbeknown to us, we had entered the equivalent of an IRA headquarters in Northern Ireland.
Okay.
So we're there, we'll fall asleep on these benches around the edge. 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning, dawn is breaking through the windows, and it is freezing. It was the cold that woke me up. So I woke up. It's a hand over onto the bench, and they had these lids on the benches with storage underneath. What is in this storage compartment under the bench next to me?
It wants to be a stripper and a couple of bottles of Jack Daniels, because this story needs to get better.
Come on.
Hand grenades.
Oh.
Proper, real hand grenades. I have never sobered up as quickly in my life.
Anybody has a grenade right now, so he can sober up for real. But we need to get on with the show.
I'm kicking wallpaper next to me, saying, "Yeah." So we silently made our excuses and left. So we just, everybody else is fast asleep, zonked, all around this hut. Me and wallpaper walks out, hadn't a clue where we were. Not a clue where we were, other than we're someplace in Bilbao.
Really quiet, but
so no mobile phone. This was before the days of mobile phones or anything.
Amazing.
He's not getting hit. He really isn't. That's crazy.
We're stuck.
Who's got the mute button?
So we walked away with kind of half thought. I just says, look, if we walk downhill, we should get to the port, because obviously over hill you're going down to the river, so we could decide which way we needed to go to get to the city. Long story short, half an hour later we managed to get to the thing. But I have never sobered up as quick in my life that night. And by the way, I was well drunk.
Wow. And that's a long story short.
You can tell this man was a taxi driver, can't you?
And you see a hand grenade. Wow.
You can tell he was a taxi driver because he's took the long way around there.
Oh, my God. Exactly, man. My goodness. And that was a long story short. Unbelievable.
it's just who we are, mate.
Plenty more where that came from on that trip.
Yeah, please, no, just keep it to yourself, man. Keep it to yourself.
No,
Do it on the
no,
radio show. Do
no,
it
no. It deserves there, and it was fantastic. Anybody who was there will tell you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Super Chat Warren says, funny as I'm gonna pass out. There you go. And also he put in another super chat. Says, Chris, you're a bad man. Wins proper. Let him be. Oh my God, man. We gotta run a show here, man. This is not a fall to sleep.
This is a Bilbao preview, and it's a bit. This
No,
Bilbao.
you're completely it's a late night
the Bilbao connection.
No, it isn't. We don't care about none of that, man. Proper fans, that was old fans care about that. And I'm not gonna tell Jamie's age, man. He might be. He's not even bothered about that, to be honest, right now.
Come on, the shirts. I wore.
Oh my God. Now, listen, you do all the time. Mute you.
I wore this shirt to Bilbao because it was the away strip at the time.
We heard that earlier in the show. We don't need to hear it now.
Did you hear when we got on the plane?
Yeah, we heard all that.
I've kept really quiet, but I'll tell you something. He went down in my estimation when he said that.
You were going down in my estimation for real. Free win, Sheila. Come on, man. You can't free this guy. Anyway, listen, we gotta get on with the show, man. But first of all, give me a quick. What do you think the game is gonna be tomorrow? What do you reckon? I think we're gonna win, but I think
we're gonna win. No, I think you're gonna see a massive backlash tomorrow.
Yeah. And then,
like I said on Sunday, as far as I'm concerned, on Sunday, what happened was it's what's happened far too often that our players have got a mentality problem. They think they're just better than certain teams, and they think all they've got to do is turn up.
Yeah, well, that's what Dan Burns said earlier today.
And yet again. They've been proven that you can't do that in the Premiership.
There's a couple of players who are not really performing in the Premier League, like Anthony Gordon's the main one, I suppose, who seem to. And I wonder if it's he's.
It's easy to point the finger at Anthony Gordon.
No, but I just wonder
why. No. I'm sorry. Why is it easy to point a finger at Anthony Gordon? Why is it easy?
19 games without a goal contribution.
I wonder if it's like something to do with
his wait a minute.
As G'd up for those games as he is for the Champions League.
Well, that's a personal problem.
No, and that's what I'm worried about. Is it has he got
mentality?
Yeah, so
it's easy to say.
And again, to be fair, I'm saying that's the manager's job. The manager's job is to make sure, to ensure that
you got a point.
Doesn't happen, and that's
why
I blame Eddie totally.
No. Hold on. I blame Eddie Howe for the tactics, for the changes, for all of that. And you're right. He could have an input as far as getting the lads prepared. However, you're a grown man. You're getting paid a lot of money. You don't need to be motivated to play week in and week out. I'm not hearing that crap. As you said, as Jamie said, 2 years, more or less. Not 2 years, really, but how many games? Like 2019, something like that.
19 games
without assist and without a goal for Newcastle United. As far as the Premier League is concerned, come on, man, that is unacceptable. And you're one of the highest paid players in the team. What's going on here? And Win wants to defend that because he runs and because we need him to run. No, we don't. We need him to play. We need him to perform as a winger, as he does when he goes to England. And because you know why? I think he ultimately is a player that just turns up when it matters to him, when he likes it. Because everybody likes to play Champions League game. Everybody wants to play for their country. He only turns up when it matters to him, and not when you should, which is every game. And that is my issue. He's a petulant player. That's what Gordon is. I mean, anybody want to have a say? Jamie, you agree, disagree? Because he needs to turn up once and for all, man.
Yeah, there's something not right, isn't there? And it's I'd almost feel a bit better if he hadn't had those solid performances in the Champions League, because you just hear somebody's off form, don't you? But
yeah,
it does seem to be a mentality thing, and I think there'll be changes tomorrow night. There's got to be, and I think we'll still win with those changes, and everyone will feel a little bit better because Sunday was a right kick in the nuts. But I'm going to say it's going to be more like a kind of workman-like 2-0. I'd like to see Barnes start. I think Ramsdale will get a starting goal. Will probably be some enforced changes in midfield. And I think they'll just do a good job because, as we all agree, don't we? Athletic Bilbao aren't a top Champions League team.
No.
Especially not the way they are at the minute with all the injuries they've got.
I didn't know they had injuries as well, but that just exacerbates it.
They've got 9 players missing apparently. Nine players haven't travelled.
It's the caliber of team that we've beaten at home unconvincingly, but not without too much of a worry, like Nottingham Forest, like Tottenham last week.
Yeah, I mean we should be.
I don't know, man. I don't know because I think we beat teams that we don't think we might beat. Yeah, Tottenham, man. Before Tottenham, a lot of people didn't think we were gonna beat them. They're third in the league at the time. I don't know if they're still there now, but it didn't seem like that easy again. But we turned out, we beat them. Really, a great win. But teams like Bilbao now, they're more or less the same as West Ham United right now. They're mid-table, not as West Ham. West Ham are actually lower than that, but they're Bilbao's mid-table, I think, in the Liga. Doing poor. They're not going to have their main players. So are we really going to? Maybe because it's Champions League, we might do that. As Byrne was saying earlier on, I think we might have put a clip because Byrne was pretty. That's one thing I got to praise of Byrne. He was very, very direct and transparent. And you can tell by the way that he hears the criticism as well about him playing left back because he was really giving it to whoever needed to listen today on the press conference. I suggest you
here's the thing: Bilbao, as we know or may not know, but it's a fact. You can only play for Bilbao if you are a Basque.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what that means is that after every single game, you're surrounded by your friends and family all the time, and they do not pull any punches. If you've had a stinker, they tell you. And Dan Byrne is a Geordie. He's surrounded by Geordie friends, Geordie family, and they will tell him if he's had a stinker.
Well, I think it's more about
that's the key difference between coming from the area and not coming from the area.
Yeah, but I mean come on, man. I think he's not. If he wouldn't tell his family, I don't care what you think, and that's exactly what he came out in the press. So that's why you got to watch it before you speak on it, because he was telling folks that they'll criticize him and blah, 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 that he doesn't care, that he could care less about what people had to say as long as his teammates and his manager, back him, or more or less the same thing. So you got to watch that. Let me give you a quick update on the Champions League, ladies and gentlemen, who very much this round of games today have finished. And it looks like Liverpool does beat Real Madrid 1-0 full-time already right now. The game is finished. PSG about to lose against Bayern Munich. Bayern got a red card there. A draw between Juventus and Sporting. You got Bodo Glimt and Monaco. Monaco taking that one as well. Tottenham beaten Copenhagen 4-0. And they also got a red card. So Tottenham, it's kind of weird, because same thing with Tottenham. They have issues, inconsistency, fans losing their minds, kind of like Newcastle right now. Atletico Madrid and USG, they beat USG 3-1. Arsenal also beat Slavia Praga 3-0, as well as Frankfurt and Napoli drawing 0-0. So those are your scores. Liverpool were knackered until they beat Real Madrid, man. And then also they beat whoever they had to beat over the weekend. So
just was Bayern and PSG in Germany?
No, at France, at Parc Les Princes, however you say it.
It's just that's a little bit of a bad result for us, because you kind of wanted PSG to get all the wins in. So when we go there in the last round of games, they don't have nothing to play for, and we maybe get
the youth boys,
get a reserve team.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're watching early on, but like I said, I think we should get 6 points from PSV and Bilbao, and then
PSV.
One point at either Leverkusen or Marseille will guarantee last. It's not even 32. You can't even say 32. It'll guarantee progress if we can win one of those 2 away games, which I don't put past us at all. It could well put us in.
I think I should say we should be trying to beat Bayer Leverkusen. They ain't the team that won the double under Xabi Alonso. They're a shadow of that team, and we should be going there to win.
No doubt about it.
Yeah,
And you should get those
And
points.
and if we do, then we should be. We're still 8th.
Well,
at the minute.
we should qualify, no doubt about it. If we don't, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not talking about qualifying. I'm talking about finishing.
Talking about winning
the league stage in the top 8.
Yeah,
because 9 to 24 have a playoff game.
That only means that's good because you finish every isn't it not every I don't know
you
which
play 2 games less for a start, which I'm not particularly happy about because I would.
You play you finish at home most times, right? When you do the legs, isn't that right? Don't you get that?
The top 8 automatically get home advantage.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is good. Yeah, I mean, I tell you what though, let's listen to Dan Burn. I think it's in the very beginning of his press conference where he kind of speaks about what happened, and if he spoke to the players about performances and how he thinks that we only basically turn up on the games that everybody likes to play instead of or as opposed to every game. I think it's in the beginning. Hopefully, it doesn't take long to get to it. Let's take a listen to Dan Burn.
But hear it, Chris.
Can I hear it? Oh, sorry.
Surprising on Sunday. Can you after the Tottenham game last midweek, you'd won 3 in a row, 3 different competitions. It felt very much, even just like speaking to fans outside the game afterwards, that you'd kind of turned a corner. So I think that was why that performance was so surprising on Sunday. Can you put a finger on it as to why?
No, it's tough. I think we haven't won in 9 away games or something like that. So I think it's something that I know the manager will be working on to understand why we've not been performing at that. And the frustrating thing is that obviously we've got the Champions League tomorrow, and I think everybody knows that we will turn up for that game, and the crowd will be buzzing and we'll be buzzing and at it, and it's just about trying to replicate those performances away. And I think the years that we've done well, the first year that we qualified for the Champions League, weren't always playing great away from home, but we always sort of picked up results. So maybe we need to do more of the ugly side of the game that we're known for at the time, and probably have came away from that just from sort of the evolution of the squad and sort of the way we've been in the league table.
So just finally for me, that's just from what you said there, that's the frustrating thing, is it? That you know that everyone will sort of be up for it, the performance will be there tomorrow. That's a frustrating thing for you rather than a positive. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, of course it's frustrating because I think I think it's very, very easy to get up for these games and play in these Champions League nights because it's what you want to play in your career and on these best games. And I think this is these other games where we say Brentford on Sunday is the games where you really got to sort of earn your money and turn up and perform there. So I think that's the frustrating thing for us, that I feel like we've got lads in there that can do it and will do it, and we've got a squad that fights for each other, but we're just not putting in those performances sort of away from home.
We'll go to Craig, Daniel, then Ian.
Aye, Dan, that's very honest what you've said then. It's a great insight as well. Did you stand up and say as much in the dressing room or since?
No, I didn't feel as if I had to, and to be honest, I wasn't happy with my performance. I didn't really think it was time for me to stand up and start sort of pointing fingers, but I think it was sort of everybody knew in that changing room that would sort of let each other down. I think that's the most frustrating thing, because I think we're a very sort of tight-knit group, and we spoke before that there isn't many changing rooms, in my opinion, like we have in our league, the way that we demand from each other and push each other. So I think it was more frustrating that we really wanted to go out there and put on a performance at a team that was struggling, and failed to do that. Even going 1-0 up, I think you expect we're then to go and kick on. It sort of had yeah, the opposite effect. And I feel like at this level in the Premier League, it's very cliche, but if you don't turn up, like, there's quality in this league to beat you. They've got a very good front line, and we didn't cause them enough problems.
There you go. Dan Barron talking about, that it feels like we turn up for the big games and not the games where you, as he called it, earn your money. And I think that's a massive issue, lads. If I'm being honest, so I don't know how that gets fixed, to be honest, either. I don't know, other than getting everybody, a pull in the ear. But who will do that? Eddie Howe, and if Eddie Howe hasn't done that already by now, this whole season, and they're still doing it, they're still not turning up for games, then what do you do? What do you do? And
they are turning up for the big games.
No, but they're not turning up for the whole season, man. This on and off.
But they're turning up for the games in
their
little minds.
That's a problem. That's a problem. That's a major problem. If
there's a problem, I know, I agree, it's a problem.
So that's what I'm saying. How do we fix this? How does this get fixed? Because I would assume Eddie Howe has given them a right, for lack of a better word, bullocking. And if that is not working, then what works? Because I don't know. Because I think that I'm maybe reading too much into it, but I think Dan Burn made a statement to the locker room today as well. And I got to praise Dan Burn because I thought he spoke like a true leader today in the press conference. If you haven't watched it all, go back to the YouTube channel and watch it over. And because I think you'll be surprised, Dan Burn was very, very transparent today.
If we win 3-0 tomorrow,
this guy keeps on talking about that, man.
That's the thing, though, because it's masking. It's masking. Getting home wins against middle of the road European.
All of this don't matter when. All of this don't matter right now, man.
It does matter, but it's not.
It does matter.
It does
matters. We got a bigger problem. The players don't turn up when we got to play Brentford, when we got to play poor West Ham, when we got to play even Fulham at home, man. We had 20 minutes.
We're still shipping water, put it that way, and we're just putting it out every time we beat a Champions League team, which is great. We want to go as far as we can in all the cups, but that league position is starting to get. If we lose to Brentford, we could be 17th or something. So this is getting a bit precarious now, and we need to start really addressing that. I don't think the fixtures are great either for a little while. I think we've got some stinkers.
But the thing, DX, they've been great. You just didn't take care. You just didn't take care of them. West Ham. Then you got Fulham, West Ham, and then now you got Brentford. Don't you think that would have been a great 9 points?
No, Brentford. I don't know. Where were Brentford in the league? They're doing all right, aren't they? They're 7th or 8th.
But should Newcastle United be
that high?
Our record at Brentford is terrible. So that's why I think we're going to struggle there because.
No, I know that, but I'm saying I think I put that into the inconsistency of our team at the moment. And listen, man, the one time where I think Wynn would grab Dan Burns' comments and run with it, because he believes everything he says. And I thought he was spot on today. I think he was very transparent, and I think a press conference that the team will have to listen to and deal with it, because he's basically saying, and obviously he's not taking himself out of it. He's putting himself in the category of players. But come on, man. If we think about it, we don't have to think about it real hard. We know what players don't really turn up on these particular games.
I mean, but the fixtures.
Whoa! You can't just say that, because nobody turned up on Sunday. You can't say we know which particular players. Nobody turned up.
I'm going to stand up for Malik Chow here because
I think Chow was fine, and I think Murphy gets an okay pass.
Yeah.
How about Tonali? And how about Voltamara?
I don't think Tonali was fine. Tonali was okay.
So that's the point. So you're talking about you're wanting to point the finger at certain players.
Yeah, because you can point a finger. How about you can point a finger at Joe Linton? You can point the finger at Gordon, for example. You can point the finger at Pope, for example. You can point the fingers when.
You can point the finger at Tonali as well.
I don't think Tonali was that good, Chris. On that one.
On this particular performance.
And you can point the finger at Bruno.
Yeah, and Bruno as well. I think there's 2 or 3 that.
Yeah, but nothing.
No. How many times has Tonali let us down this season?
That doesn't matter. In these very games. Games that you're talking about.
Win. No. And this whole season, if you look at this whole season in itself, Gordon has been extremely inconsistent. I mean, it's been, and you don't buy that, by the way. You say that he runs and that's perfect, but there's many players that have.
He didn't even do that on Sunday.
Joe Linton, another one. Now people want Ramsdale in because Pope inconsistent as well in this particular game. I don't think, but again, are we going to make those changes? Does anybody see here making those changes?
I think this is a game where you could put Ramsdale in. If you want to put Ramsdale in, this is a good chance.
As far as tomorrow you're concerned, because I don't think Eddie Howe gave that.
I think he should, but I think in the press
I
conference,
definitely put Ramsdale in tomorrow.
I thought in the press conference he alluded to Pope playing, didn't he, or something?
Well, it was very, very, when he praised Ramsdale, because somebody asked him what would it take for Ramsdale to come in this team, and he praised Ramsdale. I think Ramsdale's doing fine, doing great, but Pope has never let us down. So that makes me think.
Well, that was till yesterday.
No, that was today. There's a presser today, Win. I don't know if you knew that. You were busy getting beers from getting pints from the Macam, from the Spaniard Macams, but you know we were working here at NUFC Talk, man. You know what I mean?
Who here would prefer Ramsdale? Because I would actually like to see Ramsdale get some games.
Yeah,
just
I'd have Ramsdale all day long.
Because I like his attributes for what we're trying to do. Like his kicking looks really good. He looks very confident, calm. I'd like to just see him play 4 or 5 in a row just to see what he does. And I know the Southampton fans, and I'm not one, by the way, the Southampton fans were saying that last season he was the one bright light in a terrible team. Dibbling was all right, but the rest were pretty poor. But Ramsdale was apparently really good. He just had a terrible defence in front of him.
Mm.
I think he'll play, and I think the problem is we'll win tomorrow night. And you'll come out of that ground, and you'll feel good about that. I think that's the expected result. I think we'll get that result, come what may. But I don't think you'll come out of that ground thinking that was great. We'll now go and beat Brentford. Whatever happens, everyone's going to come out thinking this could go wrong again on Sunday, and you could see that same team turning up that looks like they don't really, like they've never met each other.
And then we've got Man City.
They kind of need to beat Brentford to arrest.
Yeah, because we've got Man City and then we've got Everton away, and these are not easy games. You know, we could.
Let me ask you this, and I don't want to do the, because there's been, you know, people do point the fingers at Burn a lot on left back, and to be fair, sometimes they do have a point. And when we were talking about the highlights yesterday, when we were doing the full review, looking at the highlights, those are highlights that are not edited. All I do is put arrows and stop it so we can talk about it. But those are highlights, that come from whoever puts them out there. And so we kept seeing that Burn was forward a lot. We kept seeing that he was leaving empty spaces for Wan-Bissaka to run into, for Bowen to run. It seemed to be a pattern. I feel like Burn is such a great center back. Even Boki earlier on said, you know, he's a class center back. That I think we're missing a trick. I think we're missing him as a defender. You know, he's not contributing as an attacker. He can't really keep up with the wingers, and so you don't have him in defense. I think that why can't we go back to
but again, hang on, whoa.
And you'd have to drop Botman.
You're saying
because you can have 3 center backs.
He's not contributing in attack.
He's not, Win. He's not.
He's doing as much as what current wingers are doing. Apart from Murphy,
Well, I think
I'll leave Murphy aside. He's doing as much as Elanga and Gordon are doing.
I think Tottenham was an anomaly. Tottenham, he did contribute well.
He had a great game, and I thought he had the best game as a left back that I've seen ever. But that's one game.
Right?
And
that bit that you highlighted yesterday with your arrows in your circles showed that Dan Burn was doing his job. His job was to mark.
No, that's not his job, Win. That's not his job, Win.
His job as a left back is to mark their right winger, which was Bourne.
And again, I don't want to get into a slagging match of Burn. I don't want to do that. I'm just trying to say that I think we're missing one of our best center backs that we can possibly have.
I think that's a fact, isn't it? That it's not his position, but I think it'll be fine tomorrow. I think that Dan Burn at left back will do the job tomorrow night. Brentford I'm worried about, but personally I would rather we just fudge through to this international break and give Lewis Hall and Tino Livramento as much recovery time as they need. And then when those two guys come back after the international break, and should have Johan Wissa in the mix as well, then that fills a lot of the gaps, because not having the first choice fullbacks has kind of wrecked the team a little bit, especially with Trippier being out at the weekend. And I would expect it to be up and running that Lewis Hall plays at least after the international break. He's first name in the team. And what Howe then does with the centre halves is open to a different discussion.
Yeah.
But that should get the balance right. What I think we need in the short term is we need these couple of results to set that up. And then we need to come back and they need to start playing after that international break. Otherwise, we're going to be in trouble. We're going to be in trouble heading into that derby. That's judgment day for me.
Oh yeah, that's well. First of all, I got two questions for you. I got two questions, right? Because I remember Jamie, you being on the show at the same time. I don't know if DX may have been on that show where we said we play Benfica. So we said if we lose against Benfica, what do you got? Because this is not new, by the way. This has been happening all season. So if we lose against Benfica, which we turned up to that game, what would happen, right? And you, Jamie, said if we lose against Benfica, that is unacceptable, and we're knackered. What would you think if we lose tomorrow?
I think that's unacceptable as well.
Yeah,
that'd be even worse than Benfica.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's similar sort of level. Yeah.
But are you for example,
especially bearing in mind, as we say, the injuries that
I think we'll win.
At the minute. I mean,
I think we'll win anyway. But
their only arguably world class player is not available. So we kind of complain about having a couple of fullbacks and Wissa not available.
I think we'll win anyway. However, would you agree with Foxy here? Says it would be officially a crisis if we lose tomorrow.
It's be getting on that way, certainly.
Well, see, there's a lot of heads and faces being made because, and you may feel like you don't want to say it, but it's getting there.
What's getting there?
I think it would be more on the league games for me at the moment, because I think we've got three pretty tough league games coming up. We've got Brentford and Everton away, and we've got Man City at home in between the two. And I think those are all losable games, which sounds very negative, but they are. They're all hot. Everton away been terrible the last couple of seasons. So I think, I just think
But where's Everton now?
We've got to find a win somewhere, Brentford or Man City, something.
But Everton's level with us, absolutely level with us, dead stone level with us.
I think their home form generally is quite good, isn't it? So.
Well, you don't know about that because it's a brand new ground, isn't it?
Did you actually get tickets?
I did, yes. I'm going. I'm going to the Dick.
How many points did you need for that?
That means, by the way, Wayne, that means you didn't watch his show on the channel.
Thank you very much. Yeah, because I went in that detail.
Cheers for the help, man.
I went into full detail that I'm going to the Hill Dickinson Stadium, or the Dick, as it's being called now. I've never experienced the Dick, so I'm looking forward to getting there.
Experience it. Well, Wayne will tell you all about it, man. He's actually tried it
back in the day. It was different back in the 60s.
Well, in the 60s, yeah, it's different. It has sideburns. Anyway, Wissa says, I'm waiting on Monte Cristo, the Peruvian what is that? Persuasion. Okay, well, there you go. Cheers, Warren. But now leads me to my other question, because you mentioned it. You mentioned the derby. And I mean, we
the derby.
The derby. That's proper English, man. We say in proper English is derby. So if I asked the folks yesterday, the panel, if we had the same performance as West Ham against the Mackhams, Wynn said he's not bothered because you know how he is. What would you say if we lose against the Mackhams the way we lost against West Ham? What is your sentence?
furious.
If we lose against the Mackhams,
I'll be
at St
fuming.
James's
No, you already answered.
No,
Yes,
it's at their ground. It's away. It's mid-December. So I think that could be a big turn. If we are still in this sort of position and we go and not only lose to them, but play without any heart as we did on Sunday, then that could see the crowd go a little bit, because losing to Sunderland it's the bottom level. It's the lowest tier, isn't it? And it's a thing that makes you so sick. And coming a week before Christmas, and there's a couple of things to bear in mind. We have Fulham in the League Cup kind of 3 days later. So you could get like a 1-2 where you lose that derby, then go out of the League Cup, and the chance of that rescuing the season's gone. And then we've got a pretty tough Christmas schedule after that. I think we got Chelsea, Man United. So it could put us proper in the clot in many ways, but
in the clots.
And their tails will be up, won't they? Because and the thing that they'll have, the Mackhams, is they've got a load of African players, but we played them before AFCON, don't we?
Yeah.
So they're going to be well up for that one or two last games. So yeah, I mean, it's looking good for them at the moment. They're aiming for top 10, aren't they?
They're doing good. You cannot deny. You cannot deny that they're doing. I mean, although a win for us at their ground would be devastating. Well, would be a good gut punch for them. Although it depends on how they're doing in the league, obviously. But, but man, you know, social media,
I have to say, I think I'll go on record and say that I think we'll win that game. I think the bubble will have burst by then, and we should have got a little bit more balance in the team. Because we've been here before in the last couple. We've been here the last 2 years, haven't we? Where we've been in a bit of a shitty spot in the table, and Howe's getting questioned and stuff. And they seem to manage to galvanise around about the autumn time or the fall time, if you're listening over the water. But I just think by the time we get to that, Sunderland will have run out of steam, and that'll be the main thing. And we'll, even if it means guys coming off the bench, I'd love to beat them with an injury time goal.
Just out of interest, Sunderland starting on Saturday. They've got Arsenal at home, Fulham away, Bournemouth at home, Liverpool away, Man City away, and then Newcastle at home. They could quite conceivably not get a single point out of all of those fixtures before they play us at home.
Possibly. But they're quite far.
Arsenal away, Fulham away. Sorry, Arsenal at home, Fulham away, Bournemouth at home, Liverpool away, Man City away, and then Newcastle at home.
Yeah, but
and then Brighton away. By the way, their bubble is going to be well and truly burst before the AFCON players.
Well, what about our bubble? We play Man City. We play Everton, who you guys said is a tough match. We play Tottenham. The only easy match you can say we can play is Burnley.
Only at home, isn't it?
I mean, but other than that, what about our bubble? See, you want to use you want to be negative with the Mackhams that are doing well now, but you want to be positive on the negative Newcastle side. It makes no sense.
Always.
But we've got a pedigree of winning Premier League games, of finishing high up the pedigree. They've got none of that. And yeah, they have obviously signed very well, but it's quite common to see a newly promoted team come up, do well in like August, September, October, and then just have a winter that's an absolute car crash. Yeah,
listen, man, I don't want to give them any credit, but and trust me, I feel like I guess what you would feel if you're living in. Well, I don't know if you guys see Mackhams in Newcastle. However, if you get on social media, man, the amount of those I didn't know they were in social media until this year, by the way. They're coming out and then they're bantering, and you have to swallow that. Sometimes I want to bite the bullet, but then I don't. You know, bantering Newcastle fans, of course, about how they're performing. I don't know that I've seen a newly promoted team coming up this quickly and performing like they have been, and getting results like they have been. I don't know. I can't remember.
Well, I can remember a certain Newcastle United doing it in 1993.
Well, yeah, but that's again, you keep going 30 years ago, man. It's just not common.
Ipswich,
Yeah.
didn't they? Ipswich came third.
Back with what? Bobby Robson.
2001.
I can think. I can think
2001, I
back. Wigan Athletic did it. Wigan Athletic were top of the league after 9 games or something.
What was his name? Asmir. What was his name? That guy who scored loads of goals. The Egyptian striker, Asmir something. He scored like 8 in about 7 games or something.
Christina says we see Malcolms in Newcastle. Never seen one in Milan though. There you go. Cheers, Christina. Cheers. So I think we need to beat them. Your team, please. I am interested in waiting. Oh, you want me to give me my team?
Yeah.
Tomorrow's game. I would try 3 center backs, and you have to experiment on the wing backs. On the wing backs, back 5. But I know Murphy's done that on the right side. I would put Trippier on the left side. And let them do the thing. But I think that I think we're missing a trick. Now that I'm thinking about it, Byrne at center back is a huge miss, and he said it today. I'm a center back. Very clear. That's why when you got to going back and watch it, man, because he was very clear. I'm my center back. That's my best position, and
I know he's a centre back. I don't know about I have no problem with that at all. But I also think he's nowhere near as bad a left back as he's painted.
I think I would do the back 5 with Byrne, Botman, and Chow. Chow is incredible right now, man. That lad is incredible. And midfield as usual with Gordon and Voltemata up front. That's what I do. I mean, but I guess we'll have to see. It is 10:30 at night in the UK, folks. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe.
So hang on. So you're dropping Murphy?
Yeah, I would. Hey, it's 10:30 in the it's 10:30 at night. It's 10:30 at night in the UK, folks.
Set up for maximum confrontation and super opinionated debates. The NUFC Late Night Show with Chris the American Man, Dara Demadiwan, Andrew Boki, and the rest of the panel. Monday through Thursday from 9:30 p.m. UK and UFC Talk Radio, the voice of the Toon Army.
That was satisfying. Mute and win for 20 seconds. What was going on, DX?
I can't remember what we were talking about now.
He wants me to go to football school.
We were talking about the team, weren't we?
I guess playing 3 back, I have to go to football school.
Elanga, I was saying Elanga was maybe Elanga. This is another one where he might be able to shine because he seems to play better in the Champions League for some reason. And yeah, I think so. We're going to pick our teams, or I would start with Ramsdale anyway.
Well, we got to get into the article that Craig put out today about the commercial officer. So let's get to that actually. So it seems like Peter Silverstone, he's gone. Whether he left on his own or he was sacked, I don't know. But Newcastle United's chief commercial officer Peter Silverstone leaves club amid new chief executive's 100-day review, which is the new CEO. Newcastle commercial. Well, we read that one. We understand that the former Arsenal man, he was at Arsenal? I didn't know that. Is set to take up a business role at Juventus after 3 years at St. James's Park.
Wow.
His exit comes amid new chief executive David Hopkinson's 100-day review of the club's inner workings is revealed by the Daily Mail last month. He has vowed to make major changes should he see fit, with his mantra said to be, "You either with us or with yourself." Daily Mail Sport understands that another senior member of staff left last month, and there could be more comings and goings as part of Hopkinson's audit. Silverstone is said to be leaving on good terms and will take up the new opportunity with the Serie A Giants later this year. In his role as Newcastle's chief commercial officer, he was a part of the team that secured the Adidas Keep partnership worth $30 million per season. The article continues. We might get into more of that. But first of all, what do you make of that? I don't know what to make of it, because is he going to leave because of Juventus, or are we sacking him? Plain and simple. Which one?
He's on gardening leave, isn't he? So he can't.
Well, he is obviously. But that means that he's getting sacked.
No, that means he's not. He's going to Juve, and we've put him on gardening leave.
Yeah.
Only Dan saying, where are the Maccabees in the Champions League table?
Yeah, that's our go-to. Shaka is sound. For Sun. what Trippier did with us.
That's a fact. Xhaka is doing exactly that for Sunderland. What Trippier
We should have, and I also said we should have gotten Xhaka. He would have came to Newcastle crawling, but we didn't. Anyway, so Silverstone, when you defended him for a long time, saying that wait. Well, we're still waiting. He hasn't done anything.
Yeah. I believed, if you like, that we were waiting for the APT controversy to be resolved, which it still hasn't been, by the way, such that Silverstone was being prevented doing any deals that he wanted to do, whilst waiting for the opportunity for massive Saudi deals to be brought in. Which
why not have a deal in the meantime?
Yeah, an interim deal. I don't understand. We're just
because then, if you do that,
can't justify it.
The finger can be pointed, saying, "How could you have been worth just whatever £10 million for 5 years now, and now you're worth?"
Because someone's willing to pay it. At the end of the day,
you and me's on
the thing is, if the associated party transaction thing is out the window, surely you can then do what you like. And so, if it's no different jumping from like a £20 million deal, British Airways, to jumping from nothing to getting all that money.
Except that you've signed the deal at what you signed it for.
Yeah, but you signed it for a year or something. Why can we have?
Well, I'm saying you can argue.
But there's nothing stopping that. APT doesn't stop you from that. You do whatever you want as long as it makes sense for.
You'll be doing little piddly deals for a year.
So stop trying to justify whatever, man. Just
all I'm saying is, who are you going to get to give you those deals? And now that's his job. Absolutely, that's his job. I, for example, can't understand why we haven't had a lot more
training ground.
The training ground.
We should have that sponsored.
Known gin strip, you name it.
Club coffee, club condom.
Yeah. I think we've got enough training ground strip. I mean, I think we've got enough strips. I don't think we need.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You got one for every day of the month.
Roy Caviani will be having to sell a kidney at this rate.
So, yeah, I mean, but it's interesting though because
for me, he hasn't covered himself in glory while he's been here. On the trajectory we've been on, he should have been able to pull in bigger and better spun. I mean, we hear about this the visa deal. What are we getting out of that visa deal? Nobody knows. We know what Visa are getting out of it.
I don't know. I don't know that Visa benefits more than we benefit from Visa. To be honest with you, everybody knows Visa. I don't think everybody knows Newcastle United. So you tell me.
But how does a Visa user in
Malaysia
know?
I don't think Newcastle United will have signed a deal with Visa for altruistic reasons. I think we will be getting something out of it.
No doubt about it. Exactly.
It's probably a good deal, but it's a low-lying deal. Like Dijk said, you want a big name on the training ground. You want training kit that's got yet another sponsor across there that isn't Seller, because there's nothing on the training gear, is it? Just a badge. No one would care if that had shit all over it, like a motor racing outfit, if it was bringing this money in, and that's what people have been saying for a long time. But I think it's quite normal for David Hopkinson to want to bring his own guy in.
Well, let me read you this part of the article that obviously, as we said, Silverstone was part of the ones that got the 30 million per season a year for Adidas. But Hopkinson, formerly head of global partnerships at Real Madrid, wants to add close to £100 million per season to the club's revenue. His contacts and know-how from a global perspective will be key to driving that growth. A partnership with Visa has been announced to the likes of Microsoft and Amazon could be next. And the likes of Microsoft.
That's who we need to be looking at. That's sort of caliber.
My brother works.
Can you imagine what Christmas is going to be like in Sunderland if the Mackhams start refusing to use Amazon?
Yeah.
Did you see that on X? It's like I'm giving away my. So I've saw one. I read one that said I talked to Barclays or something like that. I guess because they use Visa. I'm closing my account. But I'm like, can you believe that, man? Like,
I think that was Big Frank.
yeah, whoever said that. Yeah, that makes no sense. But those were great deals. But it looks like Silverstone is seeing that these guys are not doing their job. So gotta go. If you're not doing your job,
It's only a matter of time, I think, before Shawla's days are numbered.
well, that's another one, by the way, that's being questioned, if I'm not mistaken. But let me finish this article. It's rather short. Insiders say that Silverstone's exit on the back of Hopkinson's arrival always seemed likely. It's understood that Silverstone addressed his commercial team on Tuesday after news of his departure was communicated on staff email. He has split opinion amongst the club's online support during his time on Tyneside, talking about Silverstone, primarily amid tension over ticketing. But the Scot has always spoken warmly about fans in the city where his family have settled, of course. Let me see. He will also likely point to his part in the 130% revenue growth. Well, 130%. I guess we grew. I think it was close to 400 million or something.
That's basically all. It's the Adidas deal. Adidas, Phoenix, and the Japanese AI company.
Yeah,
Japanese eye company.
It's not a gaming.
Are you a sheep? You're not gonna.
It's 2 million anyway. 2 million a year.
Danny Bear.
Yeah.
So sorry.
Danny Bear.
No.
No, he's making sure you. No, that's not him. That's not another one. But there you go. So that's what's going on with as far as news is concerned with this deal. 100 million per year, though, man, that is massive. If he can make that happen, I mean, but if you give Amazon and Microsoft, I mean, that's
names.
That would be canny if he's able to do that.
Get Bill Gates involved.
Oh man, Bill Gates spent one of these billions on Newcastle, but that's not the problem, though. We don't have money.
Yeah, that's not the problem. We
can't use our billions. That's the problem. You know what I mean? And I don't know how. That's why waiting on the APT. You're waiting for Man City is pointless and irrelevant. Stop waiting on other people to do the job for you, man. You got to go out there and get it done. That's what happened. I guarantee you. Following Mighty Wind's rule, Silverstone just slept on his laurels, and
it may well have done. Yeah.
So next time, don't follow Mighty Wind's rules, ladies and gents. Just update: Lewis Hall was training this morning. Kieran Trippier also back involved after illness. Alex Murphy also part of the group. Keep an eye on that. Options at left back. Eddie Howe has, but then Byrne likely to keep his place against Bilbao. And this is according to Dominic Skur on X. Let me see what Keith Down is saying. He's reporting the Bruno situation, illness. If Bruno doesn't play tomorrow, are we knackered? Or what do you guys think of that?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No. I think we'll play Ramsey, Miley, and Toon Army, maybe. And that's fine. That's a good midfield.
Yeah, I'd like to see
I don't think that's a bad midfield three, actually.
No,
so that's a Divin Worry. Divin Worry.
Divin Worry War Kid.
I think you'll go with Joelinton if there's no Bruno. You'll get Joelinton and Tonali and
for experience.
I think so.
Actually, it's let me get into it because it's 10:42 now in the UK. We got about 50 minutes left or so. I'm thinking as I look at Jamie, I don't think I've ever heard you speak with a thick Geordie accent, man. I mean, I can tell you're Geordie, but you're kind of one of the woke ones. You don't want to speak it like a proper, Geordie. So can you give us something? Can you give us a little something?
I could do, yeah. Connie, not bad. But I just like to be spoken to be understood, you know what I mean?
Well, I understand that. Now you're trying a little too hard. You're not a proper. Where are you from, man? You're from Washington? You're in the middle?
No. Washington?
No, because the Twins are from Washington. So and I got a word that Washington is they're Malcolms. They're not proper Geordie. So, but and they differed, of course. But
it's one of those places, isn't it? There's like
South Shields.
There's like a line there, and
but watching Tim's rant over the weekend, he's a proper Geordie, man. He's a proper Geordie.
Yeah.
So are you from Gosforth? Is that where you always? Yeah, you one of the rich boys. Yeah, that's right.
Let's not go there now.
That's how it work, kid. Just like Win, man. Just like Win. Jamie's a proper Geordie. Like, if he didn't speak the way he does, Chris would be like, "What did he say?" No, actually, I think I'm pretty good. Reading it might be an issue, but I can understand Geordie now. I mean, I can't. I don't know if the way Warren in the chat speaks, I may be knackered, but it may be just the way he.
I think that's a Guinness speaking in the chat, though.
Yeah, that may be.
I sometimes struggle to see what Warren writes.
Yeah. Divn't worry, man. Divn't worry. Let me see here, because I may have something for Yo and Wissa. And there might be rumors that he's not. Well, there's a video now put up by Craig Hope on his YouTube channel.
January.
That says Yo and Wissa is not close, nowhere near. So it might be pushing to January.
Oh, well, they said he needs a 6 week. He needs a 6 week.
Beyond that,
prove that we're wangers.
That's what Eddie Howe said, wasn't it? He needs a 6 week preseason. So he's probably fit, but he's just not match fit.
Yeah, but he was on the grass and stuff, wasn't he?
What worries me a little bit is that if he goes, surely he won't go to AFCON. Surely at this point now, pull him out of that. He's got to have some professional pride that he's made. This is his biggest move of his career. So if he's going to actually do anything now and earn a bit of respect from the fans, I think he's got to prioritize Newcastle United and not content.
And I'm telling you, the expectations on Wissa, especially from fans like Win and stuff like that. I mean, it's like Messi. It's like we signed Messi, and he's going to come on and solve everybody's problem. And I don't know that he'll be able to handle that. Especially coming from an injury.
The thing is, Dijk, he's got his move.
I know that.
And as you say, he's of an age now. Not going to get another chance to play in the World Cup. He's not going to get another chance to play in the.
No, but again, he is the best player.
Loyalty. But
Messi can say whatever he wants for Argentina, and they'll make it happen. Congo will do the same for Wissa. You don't. It's just the way it is. If he was a young lad coming up, and and nobody cares for him, yeah, he'd have to go by the rules. But Wissa can talk to the federation and say, "Listen, man, help me out here. I want to be better for the World Cup. I'm working out. I'm getting myself better, stronger." What was that?
They've got to get to the World Cup first.
Well, the thing is, they've got 2 World Cup qualifiers this month.
No, they've got a ridiculous route to the World Cup. Dr. Congo ain't getting there.
Yeah, they have. They've got to beat Cameroon, and then they've got to beat
someone else who's better than them. But then that only gets them into another qualifier, another playoff with a team from another federation. So they've got to beat 2 African teams, neither of whom they'll be favourites for.
And by the way, the Cameroon game is in 9 days, so he's not going to be fit for that one. So if they lose that, they can't qualify, right? So we kind of have to.
Then they play the. You say they're in neutral territory, don't it? Morocco, is it? Or
Benin, by the looks of it. Oh no, that's AFCON. But I don't think he's going to be fit for these World Cup qualifiers, is he? So get him out. AFCON might be a different matter, but I just think he's played in AFCON before. Surely, can he not miss one?
No, I agree with you 100%, DX. I think he's their best player. So best players get away with certain things. If you talk to him, obviously, if he just says I'm not going to go, first of all, there's no sanction. By the way, there's no sanction. Congo is not going to sanction now. More or less, they're not going to call him again. So he doesn't want that. But when you're the best player, it's like I don't know whoever. If Voltemade is, he can talk to the national team. Let me skip for that. I'm getting better. I'm getting stronger. I don't want to go out there, rush, and get hurt. You can come into an understanding, and that's what I'm appealing to. That Wissa, if he is what he said, was rumored that he is compromised and he's focused in Newcastle, blah blah blah. I do expect him to do that. Now, if he believes, but that's if he wants to, because if he thinks
I mean,
no,
when you think
100%.
about Michael Owen, and you remember Michael Owen, he went to that World Cup and he wasn't fit, and then he got injured in the World Cup and he missed the whole of the next season. And so I just think I hope he doesn't do that, because I think he's going to go there and they'll just play him into the ground. They'll run him into the ground, and we might not see him this season. If he goes, I worry if he plays for Congo before he plays for us, I don't think we're going to see him.
Do you think it makes sense to just, even if he was declared himself available for these games this week, to just leave him out, tell Congo he's still injured?
Yeah, maybe that's what he's doing.
But it's their physicians who have to decide.
No, but he has to play the role. He has to.
But ultimately, it's down to him.
Yeah, he would have to say that I'm still hurt. You know what I mean? Obviously, so it's a very. But again, man, now the build up. It's like a snowball now. Everybody thinks he is the solution, and I'm sorry, I just don't see it. I think he is the solution, but I don't think he comes on the pitch and all of a sudden all of our worries go out the window.
I think it changes the shape of the team. It brings everything like a little bit further forward, because we're not having shots on goal because there's never anybody in the box.
Yeah, we're not really creating. Voltemada's had very few.
We're not creating for
Voltemada. Very clinical with his chances, but I think that we need a focal point up there, because I think Voltemada would be better.
And it's not Voltemada.
I think it is Voltemada.
No, I think he's a 10, isn't he, Voltemada?
Yes.
Because of Voltemada's, because he's not a stationary center forward. He just stays there in the box no matter what. Then he feels the team is not performing. The team is not giving him the ball, so therefore he's going to come down to get it, and that is the issue that we run. How many times does he come down and get the ball? No, man. When we fed him the ball, he scored, and everybody was happy, honky dory. He's got 5 goals, scoring headers, the flicks, and all of that stuff. Nobody complained. Now, when we're not creating chances, everybody.
Have you seen Voltemada?
I've seen him, yeah, many times
trying to head the ball when he's under pressure.
Yeah, he scored goals.
How many times you seen him win it? Twice when he scored.
Yeah. That's what I care about.
Middle of the park, umpteen times. He cannot win a ball under a challenge in the air. That's not his game.
Yeah. And that wasn't Isak's game. So what are you on about?
Correct. It wasn't Isak's game.
So and Isak was perfect for us. So what are you on about?
We spent 3 years perfecting the art of basically getting the ball to Isak's feet.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do.
And again, not necessarily in the 6-yard box.
And that's what we got to do to Voltemada. So why is that not
Voltemada is a better footballer than Isak. And we need to get players further forward. And we're learning how to do it. It's taking time to evolve. We're learning how to do it.
There you go. Warren, thank you for a super chat. Cheeky, I can read that. I didn't mince me words, Henny. What is Henny? I forgot what that is.
Just
Henny's a donkey, but it's a lovely.
It's like we don't say pet over here either. All right. We call pet our dogs, man. Yeah, we anyway. So, but I understood that. Isn't no issues whatsoever. Anyway, so why are you laughing at, man?
Just that Andy Bell saying Dijk is giving him Julia Roberts vibes with that haircut.
It's Julia Roberts, man.
The Richard gear.
Come on, man. By the way, I don't know if you guys showed it earlier, because I saw that you would show it, but I want to reiterate Anthony Gordon's league stats this season. Match rating 6.7. All of that doesn't, to me, it's irrelevant because that's whoever gives it to him. 6.7. Games 7. Goals 0. Assists 0. Expected goals 1.39. I don't care about none of that. Big chances missed 3. Big chances created 2. Dribble successes 40. 40 dribbles, I guess, percentage. So 40%. So 40%. He beats his man 40% of the time.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a funny player. Is he an overrated player? I don't know. I think
he is now.
I think he had that one.
On this season's form, I would say
he's had one great season, man. He got all the money in the world. It's the biggest robbery I've seen since we took everything from the Indians.
Wasn't it ever since he got that red card against Brighton in the cup? Was it Brighton in the cup?
Yeah, I think he had a really good
dropped straight away.
He had a really good spell around this time last season when we went on that winning run.
Arsenal and all that, yeah.
Yeah, from like, you know, we lost to Brentford and it gave them a bit of a rocket. Was it 9 straight wins?
Yeah.
And you came over for the last one of them, Chris, didn't you? And then to see it all.
Yeah. And you gave me
spectacularly.
Full of shit with the
second
one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And you gave me the wrong program, but yeah.
Chris ended the
no, I didn't. I gave you the right ones. But just the one that you were in just didn't exist. But yeah, Gordon
you can't read
Gordon got if you think Arsenal, when we beat Arsenal in the semi-final over 2 legs, Isak didn't score twice. Gordon did. Like when we were winning away at Old Trafford and winning at Tottenham, he was scoring, assisting. He scored an absolute cracker against Villa on Boxing Day, and he was flying. And I think you're maybe right there, Dom, that like that red card against Brighton feels like a bit of a cut-off point.
Sort of spiraled after that, didn't it? It'd be interesting to see his stats after that game.
Knocked the stuffing right out of his seals.
I mean, but you're talking about he did the same thing with Liverpool, man. You know, it's something. It's a mental game. It's a mental game with him. It's a mental game with him, I think. You know,
I don't even think that was a sending off, but that's by the by.
It was a sending off
against Liverpool.
Yeah. That's people from Gosford, by the way. They're supposed to, you know, have a higher level.
Because there was stripes down the back of his.
Yeah, it just
big holes in his sock.
Yeah. It just had the scrapes.
Yeah,
you know,
you can do that with a fingernail, man.
You think it wasn't a sending off because there's physical evidence of harm on the guy that he fouled? What sort of defense is that?
You could physically see that he was as he was going in, he was trying to pull his foot back.
I just can't believe this, man. And it doesn't matter if you're trying to pull your foot back. He rammed the player, Van Dijk, and it was Van Dijk. He's 7 feet tall, so you know he's not gonna knacker him out the game, but he certainly did damage. So there you go. Thank you, Eddie Bell, for the super sticker there. Pour us another one win, man. Yeah, exactly. He is knackered today, man. He coming on the show crying over the Spaniard Macums. You know what I mean? Are you kidding me, man? What's the matter with you, man? We're in the Champions League now, and you're crying over a game 30 years ago.
When was he crying? I didn't see him crying.
Oh, he was crying. He was not. He was like,
he's an emotional.
I hope that one day you'll understand what.
I do understand, man, but I'll cry. You know what I cry? I cry when we won the cup after so many years. That's what you gotta cry about, man. You don't cry about.
It was over a week before I could go.
You don't cry about somebody buying you a pint, man. It's like you saw a pint for the first time, man. You're Geordie.
No, but that's you see, you just don't understand. You never will.
But I do. I didn't see Jamie cry. Jamie, you cried today?
No, fancy coming and crying in front of him.
Jamie wasn't in Bilbao.
Oh wait.
Right. I was only a Ben then.
Exactly. I'm not blaming you for it. I'm just saying you weren't there.
Why you blame me? I was a bear. I wasn't even born. I don't think.
You had to be there. Is what I'm saying.
Well,
that's a very elitist comment.
You had to be there. Yeah, nobody can beat that. But anyway,
call me elitist. I'll take that. I'll wear it as a badge of honor.
And that is the late night show, folks. We'll try to be better next time. Tomorrow, match day, an hour before kickoff. And join us live for the match commentary. Newcastle United versus Athletic Bilbao. We better win tomorrow, boy. We better win.
Get in the Bally's from about 5. I might be a little bit late because I'm working beforehand, but
or a little bit next.
Before 5:30. Bally's from 5:30.
We'll see you then. Match reaction, of course, after full time. Full day tomorrow, folks. Join us tomorrow.
Bally?
Yeah, I'm doing ballet lessons tomorrow.
I just diving now, work kid, diving now. What he has to say all the time, man. He's got to work.
And all your super chatters was as always, mate. Jordy Dan.
Thank you to all the super chatters. Yeah, there you go.
All
See you later, folks. How are the lads?
See you later, Chiefs and Chiefettes.
Edward Contreras.
Warren says, I bet I could make you cry, Chris. You couldn't if you try. I'm tougher than a 2-pound steak, man. You're going to find out once. I'll see you in the Toon when I go there. Which, by the way, could be very soon. And hopefully Jamie gives me the right program. So, January, we'll see you soon,
Andy
baby.
Andy Bell. Thank you, Andy.
Yeah, and Jamie better give me a ticket to get into PSV. Come on, man. Your brain has to go to school.